Hello, and welcome back to Against the Dragonlords. This is episode 7. It's the penultimate episode in the series. Next week will be the final episode. And we are one person down this week. Unfortunately, Dare is not here with us due to having succumbed, I believe, to the plague or some such. But the rest of us will try and struggle on, despite the fact that I think most of us aren't feeling that great either from what people have been saying.
I feel
whatever it is, it's clearly catching, except for Jess, who feels fine.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, and before we introduce our characters, I believe it's Jack's turn to recap what happened last week.
Testing. Is this working?
It is
yes.
working.
So hello everyone, hello viewers. So I've got a professional recording mic here because this is my job. I'm a professional allegedly. I've had it muted on Windows for the past 5 weeks, so I've been using my dreadful laptop microphone. So hello, I hope you can enjoy my voice in all of its range. So yes, I'm here to recap what happened last week. So we were up against the odds last week as we had to sneak into a dragon's lair in order to retrieve the platinum discs, which are our significant importance to the Blue Lady at Mishakol, who is basically our sort of otherworldly patron at this stage. So we split the party with Constance and Magia going up to the top of this enormous well above the dragon's lair to distract the dragon and its draconian underlings, while Royce and Yanis stayed down in the dragon's lair to retrieve the platinum discs, which they successfully did, narrowly escaping the dragon as it came plummeting back down the well. Constance and Magia were absolutely kicking bottom back up at the top of the well and keeping all the Draconians at bay and doing some very strategic combat maneuvers, including, I believe, Magia aced an engineering role, which you wouldn't expect to come in handy in the middle of combat, and dropped a bunch of pillars right on the well in an attempt to block the dragon, which was really, really cool. Royce and Yanis also busted a bunch of stealth rolls really, really well and basically made it through most of the fallen city of Zaksaroth undetected. However, just as they were leaving, the dragon that we were up against, whose name escapes me, everything else I've got word for word, but the dragon's name is, there you go, that one. The dragon Kisan arises from the depths to face us, at which point, upon bidding from the Blue Lady, Yanis flung the blue crystal amulet at the dragon, striking it true in the chest, and it basically just turned to it did a Voldemort at the end of Harry Potter film.
Did a Voldemort, yeah.
Or dark villain of your choice. So we made it back up to the temple. Magia and Constance managed to take prisoner a draconian who I've got written down. Their name is Zesk. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but we're going to go with Zesk.
Yeah.
Magia tried to convert Zesk to, the side of good and warn the Draconians about the oncoming force of the Blue Lady Mishakol and our holy quest. But Zesk, the Draconian, was not swayed, choosing to die. Well, we presume die with the Draconian forces. So we made it out of Zaksaroth. We slayed the dragon. The Blue Lady told us we needed to find a true leader of the people, basically in order to lead a huge revolution and stop all the Draconians and the dragons from coming back and stopping everyone, which is all well and good if we hadn't gotten just outside the city limits and seen far across the plains of Krynn and Ansalon that Solace, the very humble village in which we began our adventure 7 weeks prior, would it be 7 weeks or would it be 6? 6 weeks prior. Yeah. I'm not very good at maths. I can't operate a mind.
Counting is hard, especially when you have to.
It's very hard, and this game is mostly counting. So we discovered that Solace, the town we started in, was on fire, and we began a journey in haste to return there and save as many people as we could.
Oh no! Solace,
I think that's everything.
No. Okay, so let's introduce everybody. I, of course, am Russ, aka Morris, or Morris, aka Russ. I am the narrator for tonight, and our intrepid adventurers. Let's go one at a time, starting with you, Jess. Who are you, and who are you playing?
So my name is Jessica. I'm the business manager at EM Publishing, who made Level Up Advanced 5th edition, which is what we are playing today. And I'm playing Constance, who is a Knight of Solamnia. Oh, sorry, covering up Virginia there a bit. She is human martial imperial. We've just leveled up to level 4, which means I get my combat maneuver exertion points pool increases, so I can spend more kind of exertion points when I'm using my maneuvers, and I get a second degree
Second degree, yes.
Degree, that's the one, not level. Second degree combat maneuvers now as well. And this isn't a level up feature, but I just had my armor class wrong, which some viewers pointed out and were asking. And it's because I did it wrong. So my armor class is now 16.
Not 13, as was previously
Nice.
advertised.
That makes a lot more sense. Oh gosh, that was a lot of technical language. Yes, maneuvers, exertion points. It sounds like playing a fighter in advanced level up 5th edition is really exciting.
It would be, but I am playing a marshal.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said I was just checking to see. What I meant to say was a martial class. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hang on. Martial? I don't know what a martial is. Just that's why I defaulted to the other class. What's a martial?
Just like it's pretty good.
It's just a class. It's just a class you can play in the game.
It's some described as the ultimate support class, I'd say. So a lot of a martial is there's lots of things using charisma or wisdom that I use that boosts everyone around me. So there's cool things I do, like for example, rallying surge. So each time I can use a bonus action, and an ally within 30 feet of me gains hit points back. Or if I successfully hit somebody because I'm an inspiring leader, then other people around me get an expertise dice when they try and attack their next turn. So I give lots of little buffs and things like that, and some I have to spend as a bonus action, some just happen when I do things, but it's really an all-rounder good support class. And I've taken the speciality of the Lionheart, which is from the Gate Pass Gazette Annual, which is now being fulfilled this week. But anyway.
Gosh.
But there you go. Is that sufficient information for your query?
Possibly more information than we needed.
That all sounds really exciting, Jess. Thanks for explaining that in a concise and clear
That's
way.
okay, Jack.
Jack, now it's your turn to talk.
So, hello everyone. I'm playing a cleric. There we go. No, so I'm playing Yanis. If you guys haven't met him already, he is a halfling, and not just a halfling, but a kender, which is a halfling culture specific to the world of Krynn and the setting of Dragonlance. They are known for their childlike wonder, their fearless nature, and their lack of understanding of personal property and possessions, which has come up a few times. So, hitting level 4, I got a very cool new class feature called, let me just check that I'm saying it correctly, because clearly I get things wrong all the time. I get a sacred office.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Which is not an actual office.
No, that would be great. I think it'd be great if for part 2 of this, we set up a detective. Anyway, let's not go down that route. So I get a sacred office, and for that I have chosen reputation. So these are ways to further define what kind of cleric you are and where your flock and your sermons are directed to. So I've picked reputation, which means that the small folk or the common people of the world of Krynn are more aware of me as because of the actions of myself and the party at large. So as we go places, the reputation precedes me, if you'll allow, and basically it increases the the disposition of other characters in the world, meaning they're more likely to help us. Hostile go to indifferent, indifferent go to positive, etc., etc. So
yeah,
basically,
it's not like you didn't just bring back Word of the True Gods to the world or something like that, is it?
I figured it had a thematic basis in what we'd been up to in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay then, finally, V, tell us about Magia.
Hi, I'm V. I'm playing Magia, who is a Minotaur sorcerer, famously really good at getting knocked unconscious and dying.
And wrestling dragons.
And wrestling dragons, yeah. So I just hit level 4 too, so I got a cool thing called an innovation. So I went for Ominous Insight, which lets me re-roll a check if I fail an Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion check, using my magic to try and find the answer. It's not great if I then fail that, because it gives me disadvantage on intelligence checks. But it's kind of nice. Magia has been learning a lot about the world as we've gone through this, and about some magics and strange things that she hasn't seen before. But also, more importantly, I remember to take the spell Mage Armor when I got to learn the spell this level.
So your AC is no longer below 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I went through it and I was like, the first thing I did was like, do I get another spell? Good, it's Mage Armor.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably should have taken that first level, but
possibly.
There you go, viewers.
It might have meant for fewer deaths. Yeah.
Take Mage Armor at first level and save yourself a lot of pain and deaths and having to be resurrected by gods.
So, at the end of the last session, you had fled the collapsing city of Zaxaroth, having wrestled a dragon to death. I'm sure that's what happened, isn't it? Yeah, wrestling a dragon to death. Let's just tell everybody that's what happened.
Yeah.
Having defeated the Black Dragon Kisanth, one of the servants of the Dragon High Lord Verminard, apparently, but you do not know yet who that is. You've heard the name mentioned a few times. And you fled the collapsing city along with many, many draconians and goblins. And as you flee through the swamps, you can see the draconians and goblins and the remains of the dragon army based there are fleeing the city also, and they're not really paying any attention to you. It's like the end of the Return of the Jedi, where all the stormtroopers are trying to flee the Death Star, and they're not bothered by Luke Skywalker dragging Darth Vader's body through the corridors. They're just ignoring him. Same thing here. They're ignoring you. They're too busy trying to get away from this collapsing city and save their own skins. So you made your way through the swamp, avoiding presumably some alligators and maybe a couple of baby dragons and some other slimy, horrible things, and emerged on the edge of the East Wall Mountains. Now, you found that the mountain pass that you had originally come through is now completely blocked by the dragon army. There's no way through that mountain path. And unfortunately, the route you now have to take is to go over and through the mountains themselves, which is treacherous, but far less treacherous than going through the middle of a dragon army.
Very true.
As you ascended the mountain and you got this marvelous view of the plains of Abanasinia stretching for 30 miles ahead of you, like a week's travel ahead of you, and far, far in the distance, on the other side of the plains, you saw the smoke arising from the trees where you know Solace, your hometown, is located. You don't know the meaning of this yet, but you can probably guess. But for now, you are trekking through the mountains on your way. I've got a lovely picture of this. If I could just call that up. There it is. Look at that. Trekking through the mountains on your way towards the plains of Abanasinia. So it's going to be about 3 days through these mountains, as you consult your maps, and then probably another 4 days or so across the plains, making a week's travel in total to get back to Solace. As you recall, when you came this way, you had the help of Pegasi. You don't have that going back.
Yeah.
You're on foot, I'm afraid.
It was easier coming here because we just flew on the back of magical flying horses, and that was
sadly that
more
option
fun.
is no longer available to you. So we're going to showcase some of Level Up's exploration rules in this session a little bit. We're going to have a journey back to Solace across mountains and across plains, and we're going to showcase some of the rules. So first of all, let's talk about the concept of supply. Now, on your character sheets, does anybody have any supply? Supply is an abstract number. It represents food, water, firewood, insect repellent, any kind of consumables that you might need on a journey. So it's nothing specific. It's just all the stuff that you would need on a journey. Medicinals, all sorts of stuff.
I have a supply of 7.
Okay.
But my maximum carry is 14.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm hench.
Because you're hench. Yeah.
Pretty much.
What about Magia and Yanis? Do you have any supply?
I have a supply of 10 from my explorer's backpack, and my max supply is 15.
Okay, so 10, 7, and Yanis, any supply there?
I've got a max of 7. I'm currently carrying 1 because I'm only little.
Okay. But between you then, we've got therefore 18, I believe. Is that, am I correct? So,
right.
Supply is used 1 supply per day per person. So you have got 18 days worth of supply. There's 3 of you. 3 of you. Well, okay. There's Dare as well, who is off scouting. Off scouting.
We'll assume Royce has enough.
Royce is supplying herself as she scouts in the distance for today. So we have 18 supply, 3 people, 6 supply each on a 7-day journey. So you haven't quite got enough to get home, but you're not far off. But you might want to think about ways of getting more supply en route, especially if something were to happen and you were to lose some supply. Not that ever happens in the journey.
No, that would be silly.
Think of supply as your journey hit points.
Okay.
So exploration
JHP.
challenges, yeah, exactly, JHP. Exploration challenges can deplete your supply as you drop them into a raging torrent, or as insects eat them, or stuff like that. And activities can increase your supply as you travel. So if somebody wants to volunteer to keep track of how much supply you have, 18 at the moment.
I will do that. So I'll put
Okay.
18 on.
I have a slightly important question, considering we're going into kind of exploration stuff.
Yeah.
Between kind of leaving the city and getting here, have we rested at all?
No.
Okay.
But you did have a long rest in the temple, and all you've really done is run from the temple to here. So you're pretty much coming straight out of a long rest.
I've got 2 features that activate on long rests, and I've not really used either of them. But the next time we do, I'll use both of them.
Okay.
Good. That's something to excited.
I think you should do that.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right. I don't even know what the features are, but I think you should do that nevertheless. I'm sure they're great.
Thank you, Morris. I look forward to it.
So you're making your way through the mountains. So the Eastwall Mountains, you're getting quite high in the mountains. It's quite cold, and you're getting to the point where it's getting quite misty, and the clouds, you're sort of entering the clouds. Your view across the plains is now quite obscured by mist and clouds. You can't see that far. As you move through the mountains, you come across a massive, great big crevasse. It must be, I don't know, sort of 60, 70 feet across. And the plummet down is like hundreds and hundreds, certain death. That is not a fall that you want to even consider risking. So this crevasse is not that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's spanned by a flimsy-looking bridge. Now, as you look at this bridge, it's got some planks missing. Some of the knots look a bit weak, and it's swaying quite a bit in the wind. In some places, it's kind of just almost hanging off. It looks horrible, but it is the only way across.
Okay, straight over.
Are you just going straight over?
Yeah, that's what I always do when these things happen.
When you go to come along, Constance was a
Grab
hand
me
up.
by
Like,
the collar.
picks him up. Just wait a second. We don't know how safe this is to cross.
It's a bridge. That's what it's for. It's for going across the ravine. It's the only way across.
Well, yes, but it looks a little. I mean, I don't pretend to be a builder or anything, but it does look a little bit, tired.
I think you'd be a very fine builder, Constance. You've got strong arms. Anyway.
Well, thank you. I can move things, yes, but I just the knowing where to put them is the trick, I believe, Magia.
Well, that's what Magia would be good with. Actually, the two of you could. Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, Yanis, is that you are very small and light, and it's probably fine. Constance is in a load of armor and very heavy, and me heavier still.
But how does that affect me getting across the bridge?
It doesn't, but if you'd like to carry on down the mountains entirely on your own with Constance and I here because the bridge snaps while we walk across it, well, then that's really up to you.
I didn't think of that. That makes a lot of sense. Good idea, sister. Okay.
You can probably put him down now. He might not go running across.
Okay.
Dust myself off. How do we get across? What do you propose?
A massive gust of wind comes through and the whole bridge sways alarmingly, and you can hear a creaking sound as it goes side to side.
Magia still has an engineering specialty right now because we haven't rested, so she hasn't changed it. Okay. Can she see if there's any big, apart from the missing planks, which you kind of expect on an old rope bridge, is there anything about it that would definitely signal as definitely structurally not sound? Sure. Particularly for her or Constance.
Yeah, sure. Make an intelligence engineering check.
Okay. 13.
Okay. You feel like the middle of the bridge in particular is the weakest point of the bridge. And with a 13, not in great detail, but you can see some weaker planks, and it looks like some of the rope is frayed towards the middle of the bridge. You feel like possibly the heavier of you might have more trouble crossing than the lighter of you.
Good.
Magia will point this out to Constance and Yanis and then go, Yanis, you have that fancy trick you do with fixing things. Could you maybe mend some of the points where the rope's frayed or the planks are really dodgy?
Yeah, I can do that. Skip, 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 skip.
Okay, so moving across this bridge, small characters need to merely make a dexterity acrobatics check.
Easy.
Medium characters, who are slightly heavier, do so at disadvantage at present because of the damage to the bridge. If Yanis is able to repair that bit of damage, that disadvantage will go away. This check will still be needed, but that disadvantage will go away. So, first of all, is Yanis going to get to the centre of the bridge?
Before he goes over, can I just tie a rope around him and hold it? I have got a 50-foot rope, so that if the bridge does break, we can just pull him back like a yo-yo.
Okay. Like a yo-yo.
Just
Yeah.
invented the yo-yo on Krynn.
Yeah.
What have you rolled there, Jack?
That's good that you tied the rope because I rolled an 8.
Oh, so confidently, Yanis starts to skip across the bridge, and confidently, Yanis skips off the bridge.
Oh God! And I brace and
plummets
just grab the
into
rope.
the clouds below, disappearing out of sight almost instantaneously. How long is this rope that you've got on you?
It is 50 feet.
So Yanis falls 50 feet before slamming into the side of the cliff on the end of a rope. What was the other end of the rope secured to?
Me.
And
Strength check.
Magia will be holding on to it as well.
Strength check with advantage then, please.
A strength check, did you say?
You may use athletics if you have it.
I do have athletics. This is a common athletic skill, which
Try
is
not to drop Yanis.
Tender hoisting.
Oh no!
Common sport. Did you drop me?
Mate, I think I might have.
You do have advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I have advantage. Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. Okay, no, don't worry about it. You're fine.
Okay.
What did you roll?
18. No, 17.
Okay. So you manage to brace yourself and hang on, and Yanis slams into the side of the cliff, taking 5d6 damage from the 50-foot drop.
5d6?
Why has one not
56?
tied any rope to me at all?
50. Well,
You would have been
that would be slightly
gone.
more than 50 feet at that point. You don't want to look at this. There's some 6s and 5s in this. 12, 17, 24 points of damage.
That's fine. In response to that, I will cast Force of Will, which allows me to half damage taken to me. So I've taken 12 points of damage.
And you are dangling on the side of a cliff with Constance and Magia standing at the top, hanging on for dear life. As you dangle there, it's like bouncing slowly off the side of this cliff, the wind buffeting you backwards and forwards.
I imagine it was just the impact of him falling that made it so difficult. Like, because he's... Are you alright?
I'm cackling like a mad thing. This is brilliant.
Magia will just start like hand over hand, like you do on a ship, just start hoisting the rope upwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
This tender high.
Is Yanis climbing?
If they're hoisting me, no, I'll enjoy the ride.
Okay, let's have a look at
the act of being hoisted.
The rope
that's
around
exactly
your
what I'm
middle
doing.
here.
I'm sort of spinning around in circles very slowly, just sort of enjoying the view.
Oh dear.
Okay.
You're very, very high up.
So we need another
Possibly
strength
even
athletics
higher
check,
than I thought we
if you
did.
please.
From me or from Constance?
Oh, from whoever wishes to do it.
Well,
If you're both doing it, then you get advantage.
I think we're both there. Just
So whoever's better, I suggest make the roll.
Probably
at advantage.
Constance, because I don't have athletics.
I do have athletics. That's 18.
18. Okay, so it takes you a couple of minutes, but finally you pull Yanis up, clambers over the side of the cliff, brushes himself off.
And that's why, we have the rope. You need to take better care of yourself. You are the hope of Krynn.
How much supply were you carrying, Yanis?
1.
Only 1. Okay, so you've lost 1 supply, which went plummeting down the side of the cliff.
You dropped
never to be seen again.
Trail mix. my raisins.
my
Something about the trail mix. You nearly had a several 100-foot drop off the edge of a cliff.
But I didn't. No, I'll go slowly this time, then immediately steps off
This
to go back on
isn't
the
like
bridge
she'll
again.
yank
Can I
him
just
back for a
yank him back with the
Yeah.
rope before he goes? Just be like, wait. You're now on a
Why?
leash. You're now
Yanis,
on a leash.
Why?
I need you
Yeah.
to understand that this isn't like falling off the boat. There is no water at the bottom to break your fall. And
Yeah,
I
there's
can't
no
dive
cloud.
down to
You
come
don't
and
know
get you
that.
back out.
You don't know there's not water down there. There's like mist and things.
She just gives him like the longest stare.
What?
If you want any of the
What?
trail mix that I have in my pack, you're going to be careful.
With the Pacino nuts. Look at that. That was a callback to session 3 when I invented Pacino nuts in Krynn.
Yeah, got a whole bag of them in here. Please be careful.
All right. Look, I'm just happy that we're out of the Sunken City and we're back on the way to Solace, whatever state it's in when we get there.
Well, yes, let's not focus on that now. Let's just focus on getting there and, safely and all together in one piece. So, would you like to try that again, perhaps? And this time I'll hold the rope a little more carefully.
I'll go slowly. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Tentatively step out onto the first.
Make another dexterity acrobatics check.
Be fine this time. There we go. That's better. 15.
Okay. You make it out carefully, or slightly more carefully, to the center of the bridge. And you can see clearly that there's a couple of broken planks, and more importantly, the rope is frayed where it would attach to some of the posts there.
You can't hear that because you're too far away.
Yeah, no, we're just there watching, holding a rope. Like
I'm going to make a guess, and I'm going to guess that was a mending spell.
Yes, that's the,
Yes.
of course, that's the noise for mending. I mean, that's
Okay.
the mending noise.
Of course. How silly of me. The rope magically repairs itself before your very eyes, and giving it a quick tug, the whole bridge does now feel far, far more secure. You feel that your heavier friends now would not be at such a disadvantage when crossing the bridge.
I'm going to hold onto the rope and kind of be like, wave, as if to say, it's okay now.
How
Hold
long
on
is
to
the
it.
bridge?
60 feet.
Okay, Yanis, cross to the other side and then loop the rope, part of the rope that's around you on the post on the far side. So at least there's a rope on the bridge in case it breaks with one of us, so we can grab something.
I look at the rope and then I look at the bridge. You'll have to let go of the rope. It's not long enough.
Well, yes, but you leave it trailing behind you so we can walk out 10 feet and then it's there for us to kind of have something to hold on to.
I have more rope if we want to tie another.
Oh,
rope
and
to
we
the
have
end of
more
this
rope. Yes, that's
Maggie's
brilliant.
pretty
Yeah.
good with tying knots. She's
If you're gonna-
a mariner.
If you're going to do something, do it quickly. I'm getting bored and it's windy.
Cross the bridge.
Maggie
Okay,
will
And I'm
tie,
gonna-
tie
I'm-
her length of hempen rope to the end of the rope for Yanis to effectively double its length.
Okay. So it's now a 100-foot rope.
Yes.
I'm going to tromp across the bridge. I'm in Southern Nights, Lamnia. I tell little people what to do. Cross the bridge. Don't cross the bridge. Don't fall off the bridge. I'm going to get to the other side and do as I'm told.
Okay.
Good.
Fair. So the other two, are you going to make your way across?
So, Magic, so if we tie this end to the rope across this end, and Yanis can tie the other half, and then we'll have a spare rope in case the bridge does fail, I guess.
Do you want to cross first? Even in your armor, I'm still probably heavier than you.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to mention, but yes, probably. Also, you
It's
have
okay,
your
Constance.
staff.
Really, I know how big and tall I am. It's fine.
Okay, right. Well, I'll head across, and you have your staff, and that can help you to, sort of float a bit.
Yeah. You
Okay.
okay with climbing if something does happen, though?
I mean, well, yeah, I'm sure yes, well, I've
I'm
done
used to
climbing
climbing
before.
planks and rope all the time. So if you want to take the staff, if it'll make you feel better.
No, you take that. I should be fine. I mean, I'm sure I can climb. I've just not been up this high before, ever.
Come on, the village is burning.
It's kind of like when
Well,
you have
no,
to go up
he's
into the
right.
sails and the rigging on a ship. It can be
that's-
horrifying looking
I mean,
down.
Yes, that would be a wonderful metaphor had I ever been on a boat as well, but unfortunately not.
Just don't look down and don't
Okay.
worry about the wind.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yes, of course.
Just as you say that, another massive gust of wind just comes through the ravine, and the bridge
Brace.
goes from side. It's like going like 30 feet from side to side
Yeah.
now, swinging like a swing, just going like massive
Right.
groaning kind of creaking noise.
Right. Well, I shall go then. And
Just
she
go
steps
with
out,
it
and she's
if it
kind of
swings.
she's walking steadily, kind of a bit Bambi-legged, like when a deer's just born, and it's like
Right.
Magia
she's
a
is
bit
shouting her
yeah.
best advice at her, like, it's okay, just go with the swing, you're fine. Just move
So
your
allow
move
me
your
to
balance.
clarify what you have done with the ropes.
So just tied it maybe onto that bit of rock that's aside to the that's aside the bridge. I'm pointing at it. You can't see what I'm pointing
We've made
at.
like a handhold with the second rope that runs the length of the bridge.
Right.
Yeah,
So
You can
and to the
hold
other
onto
side.
that.
So if you
separate from the
fall,
bridge.
you'll be just holding on to the rope. Is that
Correct.
It's not
Yes.
tied to you in any way.
Correct.
That's what I was trying to establish.
Yes.
The rope is not tied to you. You're
That's
merely holding
right.
on to it. Right.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Okay.
Right.
Go for it.
So what role am I making?
Dexterity acrobatics, please, Jess.
With advantage?
You could make athletics
No,
just
without
sprint across.
disadvantage, which is what you would have had before.
Dexterity.
Just sprint.
Okay, I'm going to use my intrepid ability, which allows me to gain an expertise dice when I'm doing this, because I feel like I would like one. Because I don't have proficiency in. I do have proficiency in acrobatics, actually.
Woohoo.
I forgot. How exciting. Okay. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. So you make your way slowly across the bridge as it swings from side to side, creaking. A couple of times you put your foot on a plank and you're sure it's about to give way beneath you, but
Yeah.
your luck holds and you continue to make your way across the bridge. Halfway across
Great.
the bridge, where it's swinging the most, you're starting to feel quite nauseous or nauseated, one of those two things. I think they mean the same thing. But holding tightly to the ropes, you manage to pull yourself slowly, inch by inch, across the bridge until finally you join Yanis safely on the other side.
Right. Well, there we go. I turn around and just, all good, to Magia.
Matthew's been like hyping you
Well
up
done.
the whole way. And I guess once Constance is safely across, Magia will attempt to cross.
Okay.
I wonder. I have an ability called Sea Legs, and I don't know if it will help me here, but I'm going to read its description to see if it does. Where is it? I get
legs are made
advantage
of
on
sea.
saving throws to resist being knocked prone. Oh, it's athletics checks made to climb or swim. Okay, so it doesn't here. But...
I would count this as climbing-ish as well, so I'll let you have it for this.
Hooray!
So I'll gain advantage. Magia's just trying to treat this like she would being on the ship and the wind moving through the rigging.
Okay.
Oh, it's a good job I did have advantage because that first roll was a 3, but that'll be sorry, this is
Dexterity acrobatics.
acrobatics. So that is an 18.
Hey, that's more like it. Okay, so the three of you finally find yourselves on the far side of the bridge. Somewhat flustered, but relieved at having made it. Looking down at the crevasse, you can see it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet. There's no way you would survive that fall. Like even the feather fall from the staff probably wouldn't have the range to take you all the way down there. So, I mean, you could almost call that a brush with death. That was pretty close. I mean, technically, that was more dangerous than the dragon, technically, if that had gone wrong.
Before we leave this, can Magia unhook the rope at this end and see if she can just like You know when you really shake out like a long piece of rope or material to see if she can lodge it loose so we can get it back? Because
So I think that would depend on how you secured it in the first place, whether you thought to, and how it was done. I think that would be kind of like a way of doing it. So whether or not you did that, I think would be a survival check.
I think we probably just would have like looped it around something, right?
Yeah.
And just tied it so it could slip off the top. Because there wouldn't be anything to like anchor it through.
Yeah, I still think it's a survival check though. I think it's a survival-y thing you're trying to do. So I'll let you use dexterity or wisdom for this one to represent
will go for
either
wisdom, because that will make a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. So you managed to do that. You whip it off the. You thought in advance how to loop it around so it would be easy to whip off, and with a deft whip, you just like lift it up and just yank the rope back, and then pull it back hand over hand until you've got the whole thing coiled again.
Yeah, she'll split it back up and give Constance her half of the rope back as well, in case she needs it.
So that was a successful exploration challenge. So an exploration challenge would normally, because we're doing milestone XP, it doesn't matter so much, grant you XP and things like that, just like a monster encounter would. So it's kind of, it's an encounter in the same way that a monster is. And they can also be mixed in with monsters. They have challenge ratings and things like that, just like monsters have. So you can mix an exploration challenge with a monster encounter, and it counts as a monster in terms of challenge rating, and it all works mathematically. It's very clever. I can't claim to have done the maths on that. That was Paul Hughes, but it's very clever. Anyway, so you've successfully gotten across this first exploration challenge. The general penalties for exploration challenges tend to be fatigue or strife or loss of supply, things like that.
Death.
But in this case, it can be worse. It can be actual damage and worse. But you made it fine. So you're great. You are great. You are on the other side of the bridge.
That was good fun. Mountains, they're like the oceans of the land.
Yes. Yeah. I guess they look a bit like waves from a distance.
Yeah. That's exactly my thinking, Constance.
Yes.
Moving on?
Yes, so we'll carry on our merry way.
Okay. So as you trek across the mountains, you have time to catch up, talk, reminisce, recount. Is there anything that you feel that you might like to say to each other as you travel across the windy, lofty mountain tops?
You guys can roleplay now. you guys are together. You can roleplay.
Time for social interactions.
One thing you are passing as you move through, you see like on the side of a mountain top, on the side of a cliff ahead of you, sort of across another ravine, you can see what appears to be a massive face carved into the very cliff.
What is that?
Enormous. If you think sort of like the what are the ones in America called? I've forgotten what they're called.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, them ones. So it's just one face. There's one face carved in the side of a cliff.
Wow. There's also one in America that's just one big face, but I can't. Is it
Crazy
Horse?
What is like that one then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it someone I recognise if I'm looking at it? Is it like a historical figure that I know?
Let's make a history check.
Good. I have proficiency in such thing. Oh no. But that's I got an 8.
It is not somebody that you recognise.
I did also, because I got ability score improvement, I put 1 point into intelligence, so now I only have a -1 instead of a -2.
Hey.
Because I feel like she's got maybe a little smarter.
She's learned things on her travels.
She has. She's learning things. She's always learning things. Does anybody know what this means? Is it a religious symbol or something, Yanis, or is it? I don't recall from any history books.
That's Corvar Matterhorn.
Oh, who are they?
He invented the pot.
Which pot?
The general concept of pots. You know, it's like from everything from a bowl to sort of like an enclosed thing that you might keep wine or water in.
Is a pot different from a bowl?
Wow, this is a big... Well, Constance, we could be here all day if we got into this, but this is a big part of why they put him up there, because they wanted to definitively say forever that he was the one who invented the pot /bowl/curved container.
Does Magia recognize this figure? As Yanis is clearly, she knows her brother is clearly just coming up with something.
You can also make
believe
a
him.
history check if you like.
Why would he lie to me? Why would he lie?
Why indeed?
Why would that?
History,
never
is
lied
that
to
wisdom
anyone.
or intelligence?
For this, it will be intelligence.
So that is an 11, but if it's a fail, I will use my ominous insight to re-roll the check.
Okay.
As Magia kind of not quite getting it at first, really tries to think, tries to almost reach out with that kind of chaos feeling to the innate magic in the air to see if there's just something that triggers in the back of her mind.
Okay.
Oh, good. Oh, that's better. That's 15.
That's better. This is the face of Magius. The staff that you carry is called the Staff of Magius. This was the staff that Magius carried hundreds of years ago. He's a
Magia
famous
is gonna-
wizard.
Magia is going to let Yanis go on for a second as, she kind of pulls the staff out of her pack and looks at it. And it takes her a minute as she's looking between them for it to click. She's like, okay, none of what he's saying is true. That guy's a wizard.
Whoa. Hang on. Yeah, a wizard at pottery.
A wizard at making things like this.
What? How?
She waves the staff. He
Look,
made
Jim.
this. That's where I've seen that vase before.
Is it a type of pot?
No. He was a wizard. He crafted magical items like this.
Hang on.
Oh,
Is that south facing or north facing?
That's north facing.
Oh, that's not the Matterhorn. Sorry, Constance. It's not the Matterhorn. I got confused. I thought if it was south. Don't worry.
and I turn and look the other way to see if there's one opposite, like expecting the iron face of a potter.
I also look. No. How do you know his face, Maj?
The place where I found this, it's a long story. I'll get to it. It was way back at that voyage. There was another carving on the wall, like that.
Should we go to it? Is there?
No.
Is it just a coincidence that we're walking past it now when you carry, his staff?
I don't know. I mean, it's so rare that you ever actually meet the people who make these things.
Well,
not that I think he lives in his face. That would be.
I don't think
really
he's alive.
weird.
I mean,
I live in my
don't
face, famously.
So, Magia, you notice that the staff feels a little warmer in your hand, and the crystal ball atop it, clutched in the sort of draconic claw, is glowing ever so slightly.
Oh, that's not. She changes hands to make sure it's not her doing it. That's not me doing that.
What?
She puts it down on the floor for a second. See, I'm not touching it, and it's doing a glowy thing.
Ooh.
Oh no, this isn't I don't
Ooh.
get a messenger for some other strange magical entity. Oh, I swear.
He's
does appear to be a family trait you have.
going to make you go on a quest. That guy's going to make you go on a quest. You're going to have to traipse halfway across the world and do a quest.
Dennis, why are
That
you
guy's
laughing
gonna-
like you won't be there following her the whole time?
I've got my own quest. I'm on my quest right now as we speak.
Maybe this is a
we are
bigger part of your quest, and it's all part of Mishakal's.
No sub questing.
Oh, I bet
There
it is.
One quest, one quest at a time. This stony faced fellow here has nothing to do with the blue lady, do you? And then I look at him kind of fearfully. As if he's gonna
Okay.
respond.
Well, you know what? Everything must be fine because Royce is scouting ahead, and I can use message and let them know that we're going to take a little detour. So all those in favor of maybe going to investigate the wizard head that's making my strange draconic staff glow,
Yes?
say aye.
Aye.
Yanis, you have to respect the diplomatic process, just like we do at home.
Yes, we won.
Fie.
We won.
She
the
picks the
two.
staff back up.
Yeah. So, in order to get to this stone head, you will have to sort of go around the side of the mountain, around a very, very narrow ledge. It's treacherous, but it's not actually impossible. You think you can do it. It will require climb checks, strength and
Yeah.
athletic checks. I'll allow dexterity athletics checks also.
Again, I'll get the rope
Time.
out, and I'm going to be like, Yanis, you are clumsy, so here, let me tie this around you, and I'll attach Yanis to me.
So this is going to be a group check. So if the two of you make the check and one of you fails, that will represent the fact that the two of you have compensated for the other with ropes and hanging onto them and all the different tricks that you would use while climbing a mountain in order to mitigate the weak point in the chain, as it were.
You know what helps with group checks, Russ?
Go on, tell me.
Teamwork. Teamwork is one of the lessons of war I have, and I will use that now. So all members gain an expertise dice when doing this check.
And I
Okay.
get my sea legs give me advantage on climbing checks.
Good
So,
on.
I don't have anything, but
But you do have an expertise dice. That's all I can give
I
you.
do. Here it is,
So
red.
that's the best I
Okay.
can do. And if
Make
you
these
fall,
rolls.
you won't plummet to your death because you're attached to me.
I'm imagining
So-
Yanis just attached by both sides to Constance and Magia, just like between the two of them.
I got a nat
Grum-
20.
Grumbling
Ooh.
about having his quest hijacked.
I am
Well, a
so good at
Critical
climbing.
success counts as 2 successes. So that basically means that the other 2 can fail now, and as a group you will still succeed.
Well, call me 2
17.
success Jess, because I did well.
Got 14.
Is that what you want me to call you from now on? 2 success Jess.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that your name from now on?
I'm actually liking it less and less as time goes by. I'm saying it,
Two
so-
You've gone off
success
it,
Jess.
you've
Who
gone off
liked
it
it less
already.
than
I mean,
Yeah, I just liked it because it rhymed.
right.
Because Jess rhymes with success.
Yes, yeah. we
I
get
could
it,
be
yeah.
like a real estate agent with a tagline like that. But anyway,
And stress.
how did we do climbing?
You did great climbing.
Yay!
You nimbly make your way around the mountain to the giant stone head. There's a ledge below the giant stone head, which you manage to deposit yourself safely upon. And looking up, you can see the stone head, basically looking up at its chin, basically, up above you. And you can see a little cave going into the mountain, just below the stone
On his
head.
face.
Just below.
Okay.
Yes, you don't have to climb up his nostril or anything. It's
That's-
just below.
No, it's not like it's like north by
wanted to
northwest. Oh.
We just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, no, it's into the mountain underneath the stone head.
Do you have your lantern?
I always have my lantern. I jangle it back and
Oh.
forth.
You know, Constance, for wearing all that armor, you're pretty nimble climbing across those rocks.
Well, thank you.
I have torches if you'd like one.
Oh yes, please.
You
that
in
would be
fact have a
good.
staff that lights up at will.
That is, I also have one
That's
of those,
also-
but she will
Well-
she will still give Constance a torch just in case.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, like
Hmm.
this.
We'll get it out and, pardon me, wrap it and light it, and then get her staff out. Is it still glowing weirdly?
Even stronger now. It seems to like being here.
Do
Good
you
job.
think it's
From-
like a universal thing that when magical people and gods want you, they just make stuff you own glow?
It's not a good sign, Maj. I'll tell you from experience.
It's very
Well.
effective.
Well, I don't know. Your glowing thing helped you kill a dragon, so
You're
Maybe
gonna have
this-
to throw it at a sea monster and kill it or something like that.
I'm gonna throw this at a
What?
sea monster. I'll wrestle a sea monster like a proper sailor.
I
Yeah,
don't
you did have a
pretend
weird
to-
sixth birthday.
I mean, I don't pretend to know a lot about the sea or sea monsters in it, but I do believe we are aloft a mountain, and they are less likely to be here.
Well, you know, at some point, some of these mountains were probably underwater. There's lots of mountain
Oceans.
ranges that used to be under the sea.
Oceans of the
You
land.
find all sorts of things up here.
I did not know that. How?
And suddenly you see a whale. No, that doesn't happen.
Trapped in the ice.
Well-
It speaks to Magia in her head.
like
I
Dory,
am
like
the
from
wizard.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
No, because it speaks whale.
I guess it's kind of like how, you know, the sea by the city will eventually come in and flood it because it sinks. Same thing. Sometimes bits of land sink and other bits come up, and
Constance is
Water moves
horrified.
around.
I was about to sneeze.
She's
yeah.
allergic to the fear.
I was allergic to the very concept of climate change and oceans rising.
Magia will, however, before we go in here, if possible, for the sake of continuity, use her message cantrip to let Royce know that we have detoured, so that Royce may find us
Okay.
next
When everything
session.
goes wrong.
Just
So the crystal ball at the top of the staff is glowing brightly, and it's illuminating the inside of this cave, which goes in only about 30 feet. And at the opposite end of the cave, you can see what looks like some kind of stone altar. Beside that stone altar is a statue of a robed wizard bearing the same face as the one up above you.
Oh, that's your friend.
well, I've never actually met him, Constance. I found it's a long story.
How did you find the staff?
I had to
He
tell
gave it
my
to you.
story.
Well, lots of what we do back at home, sailing around, is not just discovering shipwrecks or occasionally helping ourselves to passing ships, but sometimes you come across weird ruins and islands and we find stuff, and this was one of those things. Who knows how
But
it
no
got
one-
there? It could have fallen off a ship and been washed up ashore. Somebody could have left it there.
I believe destiny brought it to you, like much of what we've had on our adventures here.
She'd really fit right in back at home. You know that, Yanis? Like,
Yeah, it's
Oh.
worrying.
Would I?
yeah, like destiny and superstition and stuff like that. It's a big thing where we're from.
Oh, I'm not
The
not very superstitious. I don't, run away from cats or anything like that.
Run away
I mean,
from-
neither do we,
That's not.
Is that not
different
a
kind of superstition.
Why would you why would you run away from cats? What's wrong
Like-
with cats?
I don't know. That's what I think. I'm not very superstitious.
Right. So just to confirm, Maj, him here didn't talk to you in your head when you picked up the staff.
No.
What?
I mean, he's a wizard, not a god. We can find out what he is, and Magia goes in to the cave and I guess has a look at the altar and the statue, if there's any kind of obvious purpose to either of them, aside from some wizard's egomania.
Make an Arcana check. This will probably be intelligence, this one.
I accidentally muted myself. Arcana, I am proficient in that. So that is 19, 20, 21, 21.
Okay. You believe that if you place the staff on the altar, some more of its secrets may be revealed to you.
I'd like to roll a performance
Maggio.
check, please.
You read about this somewhere in an ancient text during your studies. You're sure you remember? Yeah, you place the staff on the altar, and it will reveal some secrets to you. This is an old location that has been mentioned in texts long ago.
Masha kind of tosses it over in her hands, and it's like, when I looked that up, I thought it was just a story, but she kind of gently places it down on the altar and takes a half step back.
The whole staff is now glowing. This soft white light illuminating the entire room. And the way the light falls on the statue literally looks like it's an actual person. It's clearly a trick of the light. And when you look closer and move around, you see it's still a statue. But just the way the light falls on it and the shadows fall, it really looks so real that if you didn't know otherwise, you would believe that there's someone standing there.
Manshia has a moment being like, oh, it's still a statue. Okay, I just got really used to the other one coming to life when the glowy things happened.
Yes, that does happen, yes.
I'm gonna
Some of
Like
the
a
secrets
sidle-
of the staff flood into your head, Magia. Some of the more advanced powers of the staff, of which
Oh my
you were
God, it's a
previously unaware. First of all, while wielding that staff, your armor class will increase by 2 points.
Well, that's great.
It is
That's
very
crazy.
Is that
That's
while
crazy.
actively using it or while having it on my person?
You have to be holding it,
Okay.
and it's basically a force field type effect.
Ooh.
Wow.
Additionally, the staff grants you the ability once a day to cast Knock, once a day to cast Levitate, and once a day to cast Dispel Magic.
Nice.
So that's all just without spell slots. That's just
It's once a day.
nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And you can, I imagine that Magia just for a second is kind of just like stuck staring at the glowing staff. And then it's like, oh,
What?
that's cool.
What?
Like tosses
what
it
happens?
between her hands. I don't really know. I don't know what it's like when the blue lady talks to you, but it's kind of just like I suddenly know things about this that I didn't before. This should help me cast more spells.
Oh,
You never do that. You just tell me to throw things at big lizards. This is a joke.
I can use it to dispel magic and maybe levitate, maybe even knock, and I think it kind of offers some protection while I'm using it.
Constance, are you hearing this?
excellent. Yes, that's
Really?
brilliant news. It's a
That
real
was
boon
no-
for our group.
No, this is terrible. This is terrible.
Why is it bad? Does it hurt her?
I'm chosen of an actual god, and I don't. Mine's gone. I don't even have it anymore.
You did get to kill a dragon, though.
This is just like our
And
10th
we
birthday
still
party.
have the discs.
She's always getting more than I do. She always gets more presents at name day.
Look,
She always gets.
you know full well that when we go back home and I show everyone a shiny staff and you say you killed a dragon, who is going to be the favorite? It's going to be you.
Yeah, right.
It is a better story because she did wrestle a baby dragon and it even got away. So
Yeah, all right.
Thanks.
Okay.
Also, I get more
Welcome.
presents on name day because you keep stealing everybody's stuff. And then into your presents, and then they have to give it back.
If they
That's
don't,
entirely on you.
if they don't want me to have it, they should put it in a locked chest or a cupboard or something. Although not a cupboard, that's generally quite easy to get into. But
a cupboard with a lock.
Fine. I'm happy that you have more things to do with your magic stick. Can we go back to my
takes
quest
it
then?
and lightly bonks him on the head with it. I got a magic stick. And no delivery quest either. This is great.
Return my staff, Minotaur.
Who was that?
Is there anything else?
Constance does look around like
You must travel to the swamp of eternal stench and immerse yourself in the waters of the foul bile.
Oh, I get. Well, we gotta go.
Actually, bonks him with the staff again.
we did
there anything-
already do that though. We already did have to go swimming through the
No,
swamp. So
by the sound of it, this swamp is way worse. It probably sounds like someone would, like looking at Magia pointedly, sounds like someone who got in this swamp would smell forever and ever. Okay, let's go.
She just gives him the look that she usually gives him, which is, I'm not going to come and get you when you fall overboard again. Just that sibling-like look of like, okay, I see. There's nothing else in this cave that looks to be significant, though, right? Like, it doesn't look like we're supposed to leave an offering of thanks or...
Well, there's no sign saying that you should.
That's good enough for Magia. As she leaves, she's like, thank you, and keeps walking.
okay, we'll just go then.
Okay. So you find yourself back on the mountainside. You still have some way to go. Off in the distance ahead of you, because it is coming towards, the end of the day now, and the wind's picking up a bit, and it's starting to get dark, and the footing's starting to get a little treacherous. Off in the distance ahead of you, you think about 3 or 4, it looks like you can see like this tall, narrow stone tower on the cliff edge. It's like 100 feet tall, and it seems empty, and it's like standing alone, looking out over the landscape. You can just kind of see it silhouetted there. It kind of looks like it might be a place to rest for the night, maybe, depending what it is and who lives there.
Shall we venture a little closer to that area there then?
I think so, if it's a good place to rest, because we haven't stopped since we left the temple, and Magia is still covered in cuts and bruises from the explosion at the well.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't know she got knocked unconscious.
No, because it happened so quickly. Yeah.
Yes. Let's venture there cautiously and see where we can if we can find somewhere to rest outside the cold and the wind.
Okay. So it takes you about another hour to get to this tower as you pick your way across the mountainside. And when you get there, you find that there is a doorway in the bottom. And it's only about 30 feet across in total. It's really thin. 30 feet across. It's about 100 feet tall.
Should we
A tower.
knock?
The tower.
I guess we knock. Is that the
Nothing.
secret knock?
Is that a secret knock? Can you remember the Gully Dwarf secret knock?
Yes.
Matthew's gonna stand slightly off to the side and let Constance and Yanis be in like the main frame of the door, because sometimes people freak out when they see minotaurs just randomly approaching their homes.
Yes, I can speak to them. I've been told I am likable.
You are likable,
You are.
Constance.
Thank you.
There's
Look at that.
silence. The sound of the knocking echoes across the mountainside, but there's no response.
I'll try the door handle.
It feels stiff, but it doesn't seem to be locked.
Poison
just
dart
gonna-
trap straight out the door.
Open the door. I'm not going to do the role player thing of like testing the door. I'm just going to open it. Why?
Yeah, it's just a door.
Okay.
I'm
The
just
door
gonna, it's just
opens.
the door.
It takes
It's
a bit of a
mimic.
tug. Takes a bit of a
Yeah.
tug, but
Like
you
it
manage
opens
to open
outwards.
the door. Sure, yeah, it opens outwards. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why you
Or
tugged it.
inwards.
Obviously, no, because then you'd push it. So,
Okay. I think I pushed it for a bit and then I realised it goes
and then you
outwards.
tugged it. Yes,
'Cause-
fine.
Okay.
And within, you can see a chamber. It looks like someone's been here before because there's the remains of a campsite there. Cold, empty now.
Hello?
There's nothing else there that you can see. There's old rotten wooden stairs going around the side of the inside of this tower, going up to what looks like another floor up near the top. Those stairs don't look safe.
Okay.
And down at the bottom here, you can see the remains of that campsite. There's even an old pot hanging
With a man's
over.
face on it.
What's that? With a man's face on it.
Carved into it.
Yeah. Over what's left of that fire.
I'll be like, hello? We're coming in.
Your voice
Constance,
echoes.
Constance,
Sorry.
I
this
think
isn't
it's empty.
that camp. It's not one of Royce's from her scouting ahead, is it?
Ma.
Make a survival check. Have a look at the campfire and see what you can deduce. Intelligent survival, I think, this one.
Good. I'm good at both those things. A 10.
You're not really sure.
Can I have
really-
a go? I'm good
Sure.
at those things.
Sure.
Does it have
That's-
Royce was ear written on the wall or something?
That is a intelligence. That's a 19.
Yeah, this is a really old campfire. There's no way that was Royce's.
This has been here a long time. I don't think anybody's been here in a while.
Well, I guess they won't mind us using it then. Let's
Probably not.
let's
Probably
let's get a fire started and get some food. It's been a long month for us all.
We'll start going through all the accoutrement in the bottom of the tower and we'll start just rifling through the stuff, the things.
So it's mainly junk down here.
Oh boy, my favourite.
Your favourite, yeah. But there are some bits and pieces. And we are going to use what we like to call a random treasure generator, another feature of Level Up. So let me call up the treasure generator. It's not going to be a particularly valuable treasure. A challenge rating 3 treasure. Oh, it's not bad at all, actually. Okay. So you find a few gold coins scattered in the dirt and the stones. Only 12 of them, but gold is gold.
12 more than 0.
You find a set of navigator's tools, which you would estimate is probably worth about 25 gold, maybe. There's that copper pot, which looking at it, it's not bad actually. You reckon it's worth about 25 gold as well.
Lovely. That sounds good.
And there's a potion. There's an old metal flask filled with some kind of murky blue liquid.
Liquid towel?
Towel was red, I think.
Oh, okay.
And obviously they're made in a factory, so they're all uniform colour. They don't vary at all.
Yes.
Oh, I shake it at the other two. Look, a concoction.
Oh, does it have a label on it?
This is with the biggest grin on his face. It doesn't. No.
Wait. Are you just okay?
You're just
So
trying
we
to-
I'm not gonna
doing
chug-
the thing where Yanis
gonna-
tastes it and Magia smells it, and we see which
I'm
one of
not-
them can work it
Okay,
out.
you're just having a tipple, like you're not
I'm not
just.
glugging it. I'm not glugging it. No.
All right, okay, that's fine.
I
I'm
just
okay.
want to have a
So,
little sip.
Yanis immediately regurgitates the contents of his stomach.
Oh my goodness! So
Because you only
well.
because you only took a tiny bit of it, you only take 1d6 poison damage instead of the full damage.
That's not
Can
good.
Magia, seeing the effect that it's had, take the bottle off of him and give it a sniff?
It's not good.
Well,
It's not good.
Well, I've rolled I'll let you roll the damage. Actually, I'll let you roll your own damage.
Okay, I took 5.
Why we shouldn't drink things we find in the floor?
And also, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh God. Oh, that's the 21.
Okay, so that seems to be the only ill effect that you suffered from it.
Oh, it tastes like the inside of an eel.
Magia's gonna have as she usually does, have a sniff of the contents and see if she can work out what it is.
Smells foul.
I think it must have gone off. Because
Does my Arcana help at all here in
Sure.
telling, like, is this something that
Have some
has,
water.
like Constance just said, gone off, or
Let's
is it
let's go with a Wisdom Arcana. We're combining your senses and your knowledge of Arcana.
That'll be a so wisdom is +1, so 14, 15, 16 in total.
Yeah, this hasn't just gone off. This is literally a potion of poison.
She kind of
As opposed-
sniffs it.
If Yanis had drank it in its entirety,
Died.
maybe not died, but it would not have been pleasant.
Not even that little
Well,
bit.
maybe died. Maybe died.
Sniffing it.
Basically,
and
you
starts-
take 3d6 points of poison damage every round until you made a successful Constitution saving throw. Is how it would work.
She
Good
flips
lord.
it down on the flask. Well, in some ways you're right, Constance. It is off, but not in the like not good anymore sense. In the this is literal poison, Yanis. Stop drinking from bottles when you don't know what they are.
Well, I'm still here. I'm fine. Now we know it's poison. We know it's
But there is
poison now. And we
vomit.
can.
There's vomit.
This does
inside
appear to be
where
the
it's
Yanis
asleep.
mishap episode today, doesn't it?
Crazy
I-
adventures of Yanis.
Yanis does something impulsive and something bad happens this episode.
Magia tucks this flask into the inside of her robe. She does not give it back to Yanis.
Okay. Are you keeping it?
What are you going to do with
Yes.
that?
Okay.
What are you going to do with that?
Not drink it is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but-
do.
What are you going to do with it?
Well,
I don't know.
maybe if there's like a baby dragon hatchling or something.
You want to poison a
It's not
baby?
really- This is really
Dragon, not a human child.
A baby's a baby, Constance. Come on, have a heart.
A baby dragon.
And you're also
Back me
talking
up.
to two non-humans as well.
Back me up,
Well,
Mel.
I
Back me up.
meant sentient
Yeah,
beings.
you-
Opposed to,
you-
dragons are sentient beings.
You
Anyway.
long legs need to have a long consideration about the needs of non-long-legged peoples.
Dragons have quite long legs.
Magia just looks at Yanis and looks down at her own very long legs.
Well,
You know what? Has anyone considered that this is a bit weird, right? Old camp, a bottle of poison out in the middle of the mountains, and a big old obelisk-like structure. Magia wants to poke her head out the door and look up. Is there anything inscribed on this big old spiry obelisk thing?
There are some really, really old carvings which look like they've been weathered away over the centuries. There's not much left of them, and they're kind of hard to make out.
Are they in a language that Magia understands?
I don't know, because I don't know what languages Magia
She
understands.
speaks Kothian, which is the Minotaur language, Primordial, and Common.
It is not a language which Magia understands.
I can read, it should be noted, and I speak Dwarvish and Elvish as
It's
well.
Dwarvish.
Oh, I can read that.
We're all stood there like, no, that's the verb. No, if it were Elvish, it would conjugate with the no.
What does it say?
There's not much of it left, so you can't make out much. But from what you think this was an old dwarvish lookout post from centuries past.
Oh, well, from what I can tell, it's an old dwarvish lookout post. Roleplay. How did you like that?
Maybe it
Jack
would have been
really
like
enjoyed my role-playing there.
well, the gully dwarves said that their families went all the way back to before the city sunk. So maybe this was an early lookout post for the city.
How far?
I don't
suppose-
imagine there'd be
yeah.
anything wrong with resting here. I assume that poison bottle was left by whoever stayed here last, fell out their pocket or something.
Maybe
Are there
it's-
any corpses hiding around somewhere in this? Because there's some stairs that go up before they get really rickety, right?
You going up?
corpses hiding? Ooh.
Yeah, Machia, as delicately as she can, without being stompy like she usually is, will try to go up.
I'm not sure they're very safe.
I'm going to be
It'll-
behind her.
Probably be fine.
Maj. You know, when I was being impulsive earlier, maybe this isn't. Maybe you should let the very small person climb up the stairs.
You drank poison. You're not allowed to tell me what to do for at least 24 hours.
I did not drink
Okay.
poison or fall off a bridge.
Machia will just go carefully until she hits a step that she's almost certain will not support her weight.
Okay,
Just
so
to
you get
have a
about
look.
halfway up. And make an engineering check, I think. Let's see how well you judge
This is
this.
gonna go
With
gonna go
wisdom?
poorly.
That'd be
Or
intelligence.
intelligence. That is just a 13.
Yeah, you don't correctly judge it, and your foot does go straight through a wooden stair, which is just rotten and snaps below you. If you make a dexterity saving throw and see if you fall or whether you manage to catch yourself.
That's a 9.
Oh, and you fall straight through. You only fall about 20 feet, so you take 2d6 damage and just go flat on the ground.
You want me to roll my own damage here?
Roll your own damage, yeah.
Machia is unconscious.
Are you
No.
okay?
You're joking.
No, rolled 11. She has 8 hit points from that very last encounter last
I
session.
am going to use the last use of my feature, which is it's called Better Than
She has a
Cure.
max of 26 now.
So I will
though,
half that damage so that you don't fall unconscious. So he reaches out his hand, and just before she hits the floor, there's like a little ablative, a little
so she
buffer.
takes 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
She
are
laughed.
you okay?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine. Ow.
I mean, this was exactly my fear.
That's all right.
told you.
Can I make a suggestion that we perhaps light a fire, sit around, and recover, and not do anything dangerous or treacherous for the next 8 to 10 hours?
I could levitate up there.
Yeah, this
Try
is like
out
halfway
the-
up the next set of steps. Like what?
I would prefer us to start a fire and you know, have some food and have some rest, because you keep both nearly dying. It's very stressful. I don't know if this is a normal sibling dynamic because I am an only child, but I would like some rest for the evening. If
To be fair,
it's been a very long day. The last week has been quite a lot, really, ever since we got out the city, because, you know, you were dead and we had to carry you there for a long time. So that was something.
Yeah.
And then you came back and it was fine. And then Royce nearly got killed by a dragon. And then we all nearly died several times in the city. You died again. And I just think it would be nice if we could just have a nice, calm meal.
From the position crouched at the top of the stairs that Maja fell through, I look down at her and go, Maj, I think that's as close to putting her foot down as Constance gets.
Are you still going up? Because she knows what Yanis is like.
I look at Constance. I look at the stairs. Constance, you make a very persuasive argument, but what if there are ne'er-do-wells up there who want to do us harm before we sleep, while we sleep?
Well, then the smoke will go up through the tower that we're lighting the fire down here and smoke them out.
All right. Okay.
What if there's a kind of strange creature up there, which will only be angered or hurt by the smoke?
Like some kind
Then
of
it can
dog
come
that crawls on
down.
walls.
Then it can come down on its a dog that crawls on walls.
That was the sort of first weird creature that popped into my head.
Is that a thing that happens?
I tell you what, we can build the fire. Yanis can make sure upstairs is safe. He's small, he can get up those stairs, and we'll just shove some of that old bedding underneath in case he falls.
Happy medium.
I assume this is a compromise.
Yes.
Well, I suppose
And
if
I
you make
promise
a
I
vote,
won't
the
go
vote
up
votes
the
for it.
stairs.
So, and there's 2 of you and 1 of me, and 2 is more than 1, so that means you'll win. So, okay.
Magia will shove her bedroll and like on the spot that she fell, so that if Yanis falls, it's soft, and will help Constance in any way Constance wishes in building the fire in the camp.
I'm going to do an experimental jump onto the bedroll just to test it. Deliberately flop onto it. But first. Poof.
Did you fall already?
No, that was on purpose. I promise. He's like scurrying back up round the stairs.
He's fine. He falls off of ships and onto decks, and
Yes, I
that
saw him
happens
fall
a
off
lot
the
all the
cliff
time.
today as well.
I wish I could say that was the first time, but she
just-
gives Constance like a look like it is not even the second.
It's just, we've been given a very monumental task here. We need to bring the words of the old gods back to the world, and for some reason that we do not know, the gods have chosen this man, as he's like climbing and balancing or something up in the ceiling. The gods have chosen this man for that task, and I mean, I'm not sure what my part in this is, but beyond to keep him safe. And I just feel that if he's throwing himself off cliffs and down towers, perhaps that's me being remiss of my duty.
I mean, but while he's up there, though, it does keep him away from like licking and eating things that he shouldn't. And
I'd forgotten he drank the poison.
Yeah, so maybe it'd just be good for him.
Well,
He's also then probably not taking stuff out of your knapsack too.
Oh well, I don't really have anything I wouldn't be willing to share anyway.
Careful, he'll hear you.
So is Yanis going up there?
Yeah, I'm going. So what I'm doing is I'm standing as close to the wall as possible and going 1 foot over the other like that, so that I can use the bit where the steps are still the most attached to the wall.
Okay, let's have a dexterity acrobatics check then.
Sure, I'd love to.
I thought.
That's all right. I got a 15 again.
Okay, so you nimbly clamber up the steps. You don't fall. And you make your way up to the platform above. The platform itself is made of stone and is part of the tower. It's just the steps that are wood. And it looks like it's a kind of lookout platform at the top of the tower because there's a big window open, no actual window in it, open to the elements, big wide one, which looks out over the plains of Abanazinia. And in the far distance, you can see the forests, you can see darkened wood, you can see where Solace would be. You can see Crystalmere Lake. You can see, you can see all the places that you've travelled. Like this viewpoint is amazing.
It's really nice up here. Very pretty.
You also see
a sword.
A dragon flying across the woods on the other side of the plains near Solace. As the light, the sort of dusk light catches it, you get a glimpse of its colour, and it looks to you like it's a reddish colour. And it looks to you, you're almost sure like there's somebody on top of the dragon, somebody riding it.
Coming down now.
It's a very long way away.
Okay.
Sort of come.
What's up there?
Well, a dragon.
What?
There was a dragon up there, like a small baby dragon. Get the
Points
poison.
at the wall. Oh. No, the other side of the plane there was it bigger than the one that we slayed?
I mean, you can't really tell.
Sure.
About that
Small,
size.
far away. who
Yeah,
knows?
that whole Father Ted sketch.
It's going to be this
Yeah.
big.
It's not another effigy like that fake one that we apparently nearly tried to fight when I died.
No, not unless they made a really impressive effigy that could fly.
Oh,
And I'm going to do a quick history or religion check to see if there's anything in history about dragon riders, because that's obviously not a thing. Oh, that's dreadful. No, that's absolutely atrocious. So no, I won't succeed on that.
There was, to your knowledge, nothing in history about dragon riders.
There was someone on top of it, someone riding the dragon, which is
Wait, what?
Frankly, don't get any ideas. Stop it.
You can't see
Stop
Maggie's
it.
face from where you are, but you can hear it in her voice as the smile comes up. You can ride those?
I'm coming down the steps. I'm like, no, you can't. You absolutely can't. That's what the nearly slips. That's what the people that we're fighting do. So therefore, we shouldn't adopt those behaviors.
But didn't someone once tell us that there might be good dragons? And what if we could ride the good dragons?
Look, we don't
And
even
essentially,
know.
where are all the good dragons? Because that makes 2 bad dragons.
I'm going to ask the blue lady when I'm asleep tonight. Like, finally step down to the final. Actually, I just jump onto the bedroll when I get to a certain level.
Well, they have passed by. They're no longer near us, so they won't be alerted to our campfire or anything.
I think not. It was the other side of the plains, but flying over. Was it over Solace? It was over the woods, wasn't it? Over the woods next to Solace. Oh.
Well, we do need to think of a way to take on that dragon. As you know, the necklace is now been used. You didn't have a second one or anything?
I'll ask her for another one when I'm asleep.
Okay.
That's how artifacts work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, you just go to islands and people they're just there. We unfortunately we're not near the ocean, so we can't get any more. Subquest.
Exactly. So I will make us Maggie and I have been making a campfire so we can have some food. So we will use up some of our 3 of our supply. So I will take that down to 14.
So this tower counts as a haven.
Yes.
You don't actually have any fatigue, I don't believe. But if you did have fatigue, you'd be able to recover that in a haven.
Ross, what's a haven? I've never heard that word before.
Would you like me to tell you, Jack? Shall I explain the concept of havens?
I would love for you to tell me and the viewers all about the mechanics of havens in Level Up Advanced 5th Edition.
So a haven is a place where you can rest without any real fear of danger from creatures or the elements. It's a safe place. Normally, it's an inn or your house or a nice building, or in this case, a nice stone tower. So a haven is a place where you can get a full night's rest. Now you can camp normally and get a night's rest and get a regular 5E long rest, just as like you always could. But if you have fatigue or strife, which are 2 special types of trapped conditions, you can only recover those by resting in a haven. If you just have a regular rest at a campsite on your journey, you don't recover fatigue or strife. So that's what a haven is.
That certainly clears that up.
And one of the big ways you can also get fatigue is to take a long rest without consuming a supply. That automatically gives you fatigue.
Well, we have eaten, so we are fine.
Okay. So you will get the benefits of a long rest.
Huzzah.
Hooray.
Do you have anything you want to do when having a long rest, Jack?
I'm glad you asked, Jess, because I have 2 features that allow me to do things when I take a long rest. One of those is a class feature called Signs of Faith, which I took Premonition, which means when I take a long rest, I can commune with my God and receive information that may be helpful in the upcoming part of the story, or I can roll a d20 and choose to replace another d20 roll with that result of a creature that I can see within 30 feet.
Okay. Which of those 2 things would you like to do?
Because it's cool and flavorful, and this is the hijinks and roleplay session. I would love to have a premonition. I would love Mishakal to tell me something helpful.
Sure. During the night, you dream, and your dream is of Solace. You see Solace's town square. You can see the villagers of Solace all in the town square, and you can see Dragon Army Draconian soldiers surrounding them. A massive red dragon, considerably larger than Kisanth, is at the edge of the clearing, and above it, and riding upon it, is a large, muscular human figure wearing a big draconic helmet with horns on it, and carrying a jet black mace. While you watch, under the oversight of this Dragon High Lord and his dragon, the Draconians usher the citizens of Solace into wagons and carts and cages, who are then taken away out of Solace.
I'll wake up in the morning and the first thing I'll say when we wake up is, it's much bigger than the one before.
Sorry?
The dragon at Solace, the red one, it's much bigger than the one that we fought in Zaxaroth.
How much bigger?
Twice the size, at least.
Oh, maybe too much.
Did you ask about the necklace?
Yeah, I think I was being a bit presumptive when I suggested that. It's not actually how it works. I just sleep and she shows me things sometimes. But they're taking them away. They're taking all of the villagers and the people that live in the town. They're taking them away somewhere. I don't know where.
But
I don't know if this has happened already or if we can get there in time to stop it.
She must have shown you something that tells us how we deal with that dragon, right?
Well, she does enjoy being frustratingly vague, as we all know. But, I mean, it's still a few days off. Perhaps she'll show me more signs in the intermittent nights. It's really bad, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
It all seemed manageable when we just had to go to a city and bring back some discs and infiltrate a dragon's horde, and I realize how insane that sounds, but that was contained. How are we supposed to save an entire city? How are we supposed to take out a dragon if it's as big as you say it is?
Oh, the person on the dragon. Big draconic helmet, armor more heavy duty than Constance's, and one of those with the thing on the end. What? No, it's got the thing on the end, the big
mace.
A hammer.
That's the one. Oh. Big mace. Horrible, gnarled black thing.
Well, it does seem like a big task.
I mean, I'd rather take my chances against the rider than the dragon.
Seems like we'll have to face both at once.
When we first started, we didn't know how we were going to cross the plains to get to the city, but we found a way. A path was given to us, and when we got there and found out that we'd have to deal with this dragon, we didn't know how we'd do that either, but we found a way. And I believe if we keep going to the city and do our best in good faith, we will find a way. I just can't see it now, but I'm sure there'll be something.
I just hope the warnings that we sent back, the Pegasi, I hope they did something.
Well, when we get there, we can see. I'm sure we will be part of a larger army and a larger resistance against this greater evil. And we'll all play our part in it.
He's hoping for more crystal amulets on the way.
So it is 8:30. Let's take a 10-minute break now. And we will continue the next adventuring day.
With my other long rest feature.
Oh, do you want to quickly do that then before we do that?
No.
You want to wait?
It requires dice rolling and stuff.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay.
Can we go back?
We'll do that in 10 minutes then.
Yes, but just before our break, I would like to share the details of our next upcoming Kickstarter, which is for 5th edition. And this is for if you like using or would like to use guns and firearms in your 5th edition game. So I'm just going to do a little trailer for a minute at the start of the break. So you
probably won't be as good as if you're listening to the podcast version of this, but just imagine this exciting videos.
And we can ask Daryl to edit this out for the podcast.
Yeah.
But for those of you watching, enjoy. Bring gunpowder to your 5e role-playing games with firearms inspired from the late medieval period through to the industrial era. The revolving blunderbuss, elephant gun, harmonica gun, these unusual firearms really existed but were exotic items which never really became mainstream. Perfect for a fantasy role-playing game, we say. 6 new magic items, such as adamantium bullets. 2 new feats for gunslingers. Greased lightning for characters exceptionally fast with multi-shot firearms. And mounted musketeer turns characters into a fearsome combatant on horseback. Your PDF copy of Keep Your Powder Dry will be with you the same day the Kickstarter ends, and the softcover book will follow shortly a few weeks later.
Hello, and welcome back to Against the Dragonlords. When we last left our heroes, they were camped out on an ancient dwarvish lookout tower on the edge of the Eastwall Mountains, looking out over the plains of Abanazinia, where Yanis spied in the far distance a red dragon with a rider flying across the forests of Solace. It's now the next morning after a night's rest, and we're back with our heroes as they awake refreshed after a long rest, feeling much better for their sleep and their camp. How are you all feeling, guys?
As players or characters?
Either or both.
Character feeling refreshed, a little bit concerned about what Yanis has just told us about there being a dragon, and also that Solace is under siege in his vision, and also that people are being put in cages and lots of awful stuff. And we're still several days away, so we can't really do anything about that.
Correct. Yeah.
As Jess, doing good. I've got a cup of tea.
So, Jack, you were going to tell us about another ability that you were going to use during your long rest.
Yes. As a halfling, I have a feature called Irrepressible Curiosity. When I take a long rest, I may spend 1 hour and roll a d6. If I get a 6, I find a discovery or boon. And I hope I roll a 6 because I would love to know what a discovery or boon is.
Hopefully, it's a Dragonlance you find.
Yeah, that would be handy, wouldn't it?
That'd be real good right about now.
So, I got 3, so that was a waste
You
of
get no
everyone's
discovery
time.
or boon, but that is a thing that happens. So halflings, and Kendo in particular, do occasionally suddenly discover something while having a long rest. Not today, though. So, it's the next day.
Fabergé egg.
You've consumed a supply each. You're ready to continue your journey. And you emerge from the Eastwall Mountains onto the plains of Abanazinia. Looking behind, you can see the mountains behind you like a giant wall. And you can see that the plains are like 4 days of walk before you reach Solace. There's 4 whole days. And you're on foot. As you look up, the clouds are darkening. The weather is starting to get gloomier, and you feel like you hear in the distance the sound of thunder.
Can Magia use her sense weather ability? So if I observe an outside area for a minute, I can predict the weather within the next 24 hours.
Yes.
I can't foresee magical changes, but I can make an insight or perception check to notice them.
Absolutely. So, you can see a thunderstorm are coming. You're not only are you going to be walking across the plains of Abanazinia, you're going to do so in a rather torrential thunderstorm, which is probably going to arrive sometime in the next day or so.
Oh, God.
Do we, since this is plains land, do we see any packs of wild horses?
So as you trudge across the plains towards Solace, you do indeed see the next random encounter that I was about to introduce you to, which is in fact a massive herd of wild horses. This massive herd of wild horses, unfortunately, is not just standing around. They've been spooked by something. And this massive herd of wild horses is stampeding towards you, racing towards you with little to no regard for what's in their way.
How many? Is it too far to dash to the side to get out their way, or?
You can certainly try and make an acrobatics or athletics check to try and outrun or avoid the herd, yeah.
Okay.
If that's what you wish to do.
I imagine that would be my instant instinct as Constance, is to just try and get out the way. But unless it was obvious that there was such a big herd that wasn't possible.
Okay.
I'd maybe try and grab Yanis as I go as well, if he's within reach, or maybe not.
Give it a go.
What do you want me to roll for that? Do you say
so either
strength?
acrobatics or athletics? This is going to be strength, acrobatics or athletics.
I'm proficient in both, so
Well, you can choose
either
it.
way. That's a 19.
Okay, so did you say you grabbed Yanis?
If he was nearby, I might have tried to as well.
You can do so and take Yanis with you, but you make the check at a disadvantage if you do.
Oh, okay.
So you'll need to roll again.
Are you standing near me, Jack? I'll give you some.
Probably.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, my roll still stands as what I said. What did I say?
19.
19, yeah. Because I just rolled a natural 20 for my other one.
Okay, so that's a critical success. So you grab Yanis and you dart off to one side.
Magia got this.
Hoisted. I just get hoisted everywhere.
What's Magia?
I think Magia doesn't want to get trampled by the stampede, but she is thinking.
Which is understandable.
She is thinking that horses would be useful in this situation. So Magia wants to maybe stand back enough that the stampede can pass so she doesn't get trampled. But it's always the horses at the back of the stampede that are a little bit more tired or maybe not quite as fast. And it tends to be where they start to break off a little bit. So she wants to wait for one of those and see if she has the strength to actually lasso one of them.
We do have a rope.
Okay.
She's got no animal handling, but she does have a rope. And
She's got a lot of pluck.
So we are going to go with, you can use strength or dexterity. I'll let you choose one of the two.
It'll be strength. I think Magia's relying
represent
on her
you like hanging on as hard as you can as it falls away. But also animal handling if you have it, which you haven't.
Which I don't.
So let's make a check.
So it's just going to be straight up.
Have you chosen a new skill for the day?
I have. It was nature.
Oh, okay.
Which probably
Horse is the natural,
here.
Russ. A naturally occurring phenomenon.
But
she's almost everything.
She's just going to see if she's even got the strength to like throw this rope out and just be able to pull a horse back.
Okay, roll it and let's see what happens.
15.
15. Okay, you do in fact manage to capture one of the horses as the herd stampedes past you, leaving a cloud of dust behind. The horse near the back, it's a slightly smaller horse than the rest and was lagging behind ever so slightly. And you managed to bring it to a stop by just like dragging your heels in and holding on tight. And you get dragged along a little bit by your heels, cartoon style. But eventually you manage to bring this horse to a stop. And it kind of rears up and stops and turns around and looks at you in it's almost curiosity, if a horse can have such a thing.
I feel like Magia kind of does slightly more animal bullish like thing of kind of like huffing at it, you know, the way the horses and bulls do, and approaches it carefully and tries to kind of calm it down a little bit, but also secure that rope for now because they've got no saddles or anything.
So we're really into the animal handling depths now. So this is definitely going to be a charisma animal handling check now.
She's not used to doing this. She's seen other people do this.
You're good at charisma, though. You're a sorcerer.
I'm good at charisma. My ability score increase went into charisma. So, that's okay. So that's going to be, I can do math, 16.
The horse comes over to you and starts snuffling around at your pack where you have food.
She will reach in.
Give it a carrot.
Bring out some of the trail mix that she might have promised to Yanis, but Yanis drank poison, so the horse can have it now. And we'll kind of like reach in and feed it.
Okay, knock off one supply. The horse eats the supply happily, and then just kind of nuzzles you in a friendly fashion.
She'll,
do horses do that? I'm sure horses do that. I know dogs do. I base everything on what dogs do.
Krynnian horses.
I'm sure horses do too. Yeah.
And she will, like, continuing to feed it that supply, kind of walk it over to where Constance and Yanis are. It's like, well, it's only one, but that should make things a little bit quicker.
Will it let you ride it? Isn't it a wild horse?
I think it's a little bit too small for me. I was thinking more you and Yanis. I have big, long strides. I'm okay.
Will it allow me to
I think you'd look pretty cool with your battle axe on the back of a horse. I'm just saying.
Oh, well,
try, Jess.
I mean, I could certainly try. She's quite emboldened by that, and she quite likes like getting a compliment and the idea that she's cool because she was never cool. She was bullied a lot. I'm gonna try and get on it to ride it. So I'll go up to the horse and kind of go to stroke its nose and be like, "Hello, my name is Constance.
Well, let's have an animal handling
I mean
check
you
from
no
you.
harm."
Maggie is still holding on to the rope and like feeding the horse the rest of the supply.
Is it a charisma animal handling? I got a 21.
Wow. Okay.
I have no skills in animal
The
handling.
horse really likes all of you, it looks like. Yeah, so this
that's
horse
nice
is your
people.
friend.
So yeah, so I kind of I introduced myself and I'm like, "Hello, my name is Constance. I mean you no harm. Terribly sorry. I'm going to sit on your back now. I know that sounds quite alarming, but I promise you it's all above board." And then I go to
The horse
on its back.
seems happy with this arrangement.
Right. Well, yes, this is working. Excellent. Good. Yanis, would you like to sit front or behind?
I'll sit in front so I can see things.
Yes, good. Makes sense. Excellent.
Yanis, animal handling check, please. Let's see if the horse
Lovely.
likes Yanis.
Of course it does. Everyone likes me.
Hmm.
That's a 5 or 6. Let me just check. That's a 6. That's a 6 for us actually, rather than a 5.
As Yanis approaches the horse skitters away.
Oh gosh, no, it's okay. It's all right. He's very nice.
What? This is what? It's just
Sorry,
not
little-
my day, is it?
Little skittish, I guess. It's me holding the rope that's fashioned as reins. Clearly.
I'm gonna step forward. It's all right.
The horse
It's
backs
okay.
away again. Doesn't want you to get close.
Look, look. You've got hooves. My sister's got hooves. I'm used to hooved animals.
Maybe you just sit on Magia's shoulders for a bit, eh? Just till it calms down and gets used to you.
Magia
Okay.
taps her shoulders. Come on.
Up.
Oh, she picks Yanis up and puts him on her shoulders.
Okay. So, you've got yourself a horse.
Nice. What should we I mean a horse should really have a name.
Well, I guess it's your horse, Constance. So
Sort of leaning on top of Magia's head. I'm like, yeah, this is all her. Look how happy she is.
Right. Well, we should think of a very noble sort of name. Maybe.
Yes, because
because
as
they're
you're
very
a knight,
horses are
you're a
noble
knight.
animals.
You're a knight, Constance. That makes that a steed.
Well, yes, exactly.
you're
I
a
think
mounted knight.
Yes, I think I shall call it Honor. Is it a girl? I cannot see from
Does
the
can Magia tell if it's a girl?
I guess you can. I'll let you decide.
She kind of does a second, like 1 minute, ducks her head under.
No!
Yeah, she's a girl. She's a girl.
well, excellent, good. I shall call her Honor
Do
then.
that without telling me. Honor. That's very you.
Yes,
Constance and honor.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
good.
I can see the songs now. Well, I can hear them. We can't see a song.
Yes. Well, of course we'll have to get you, and then Constance is going to be talking to Horse on the way. I mean, like, of course we'll have to get you some armor, because if we're going to dangerous situations to keep you safe, and perhaps a saddle. And if you're feeling strong enough, maybe some sort of side pouches there we could carry things on. If you're feeling up to it, of course, no pressure. I know this is your first day. This is your first day as being part of the Slamnic order.
Is this the onboarding process? Is that?
Yes.
Okay. So are you continuing your way across the plains?
Yes, with my
Okay.
Slamnic steed.
So as you move across the plains, looking at the ground, you notice that there's a lot of claw marks in the ground. Like hundreds and thousands of clawed creatures have marched across these plains. The grass is flattened in many places, and whatever these creatures were, they were quite heavy. They've made like quite clear claw marks, sort of a little larger than human-sized claw marks as these
Would you
horse of
say
creatures.
Draconian-sized claw marks?
Yeah.
No.
We know
It's
the Draconian army was coming this way, that town we saw.
They
Must
must
be
have
the-
already come through.
Yes.
So up ahead, you can see a tree. It's kind of a lone tree. And from the distance,
That's
it looks
sad.
like someone's been hung. Because you can
Oh.
see it silhouetted against the sky.
Oh.
We should go check, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
Do you
move
wanna
towards the tree.
Right ahead, or
Yes, very well.
As you get closer, you realise it's not a human. It looks like it's a goblin hanging from that tree.
A goblin.
And there appears to be around its neck a piece of wood with something carved on it.
What does it say?
As you get closer, it's writing. It says, "This is the fate of deserters." And then it's signed V.
Right, be that fellow that attacked the village. Left his name there. Shall we cut him down? No need for him to be left here.
yeah,
I'll stand on Magia's shoulders and cut the rope.
The
Magia will
goblins-
lower the body down.
goblin comes down easily. Looking at it, it's not that old. This happened in the last day or two, definitely.
We should.
But if there's deserters, that means there has to be something that their armies aren't happy about. Something that we can exploit when we get there, hopefully.
Yes. Good strategy, Magia.
It's that word spreading about us and what we're doing.
Is there anything else that's been left here around this tree?
Like an investigation check.
Lovely.
Do I have I don't. Investigation's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh no,
wisdom.
that'd be intelligence actually. Not
Oh,
wisdom.
so just 16 then.
Still pretty good.
There's you see some scales. They look like metallic scales. So they're not actually scales, but they're maybe parts of some kind of armor, which are scale shaped, fashioned to look like scale armor.
Ooh. What color? Just out of interest.
A kind of slightly reddish, dark reddish hue.
Magia will pick it up and have a look over it. Does it look like it would be worth money or be appropriate for anybody in the party to wear?
Oh, but it's literally just a few scales. It's not actually a suit of armor. Yeah.
She'll pick it up and turn them over in her hand. This is... Have you ever seen armor like this, Constance? And she'll hand the scales, the kind of pieces of... Are they fashioned to look like dragon scales? Or...
Yeah.
Well, no, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know. Maybe if we take them to our friend the blacksmith, if he's still there, he'll know a bit more about their construction, where they came from.
It's just... Yanis, you said that dragon rider was riding a red dragon.
I'm mid kind of digging a little small grave under the roots of the tree, by the way, but I look over my shoulder and say, yeah, if you hold them out, I'll confirm if it's the same colour.
Yeah, Magia will hold them out to him.
Well,
It's the same.
so deserter from the dragon army. So we should keep our wits about us. They're clearly near because this fellow hasn't been here long.
Can I have a
No.
perception check, please? Anyone can make it.
Is that just wisdom or what is
Yeah, wisdom perception.
That's a 3.
Got a 5. No, sorry, a 6.
19.
That'll do.
Okay. So Constance hears what sounds like a groan or a moan come from the grass some yards beyond the tree.
I'm going to go to investigate.
is a human man dressed in what looks like rags, lying there on the ground. He's got white hair, a short white beard. He's late middle age.
Oh,
Fairly fit and tanned looking, like someone who works outside. And he's lying there in the grass, just going, oh.
sir, are you injured? And I'll bend down and I'll gesture over to the others. Sir, are you injured? Do you need something?
Solamnia. He's looking straight at your breastplate. You can see the great big sort of sigil of Solamnia just kind of on you there.
Yes, I'm a knight of Solamnia.
So far south.
My travels have taken me here.
Have you come to save us? Are the knights here? Have they marched south?
Some of us have, yes.
Where? Where are they?
I'm just ahead at the moment.
He looks at the other two. They're not knights.
No, but they have the honour and strength in their hearts of any knight I have ever known. So, do you need some water or something? Here, and I'll gesture to somebody to bring some of our supply over.
Maggie will swing the pack off the side of her bag and rummage around for a water skin.
Yeah.
Okay. So he eagerly takes the water and drinks it and asks for some bread.
Of course, here.
If you'd like to knock off one supply, yeah.
Got it.
Supply leeches everywhere we go.
Mm.
It's okay, we have a horse if things get really dire.
Yeah. Oh, no! No.
No, we have a kender if things get really no.
Wow.
That's half the supply.
Yeah.
Sir, my name is Constance, and these are my companions Yanis and Magia.
Where have you come from?
Wow.
From the east?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, you might not believe us, but where Yanis slayed a dragon.
He reaches out a hand for you to pull him to his feet.
I will.
And he staggers to his feet and just stands there sort of swaying slightly.
Are you well enough to stand? Could you tell us what happened here?
Goblins. They sent goblins.
I see. There was one in the tree over there.
I fled. This is how far I got before I ran out of food.
I see. War is not a good kind thing, is it? Well, I don't know how I can help you. Is there somewhere you were trying to get to, or
just away from the armies? They're marching from the north.
We've seen them. How long ago? How long ago did they come through your village?
I don't know how long I've been here. Days, maybe.
Well, I think you'll need to. Solace may not be a safe place for a while.
Where are you headed?
Solace.
Solace? I have not been to Solace.
I fear that we are heading into the eye of the storm, though, so if you wish to remain safe, it may not be the best place for you.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me alone.
Of course.
I won't survive here alone. I'm an old, frail man.
Is this man lying?
What is he like? Is he an old, frail man?
No, is he lying?
Is he lying?
Is he lying about the fact that he fled and all this stuff? I'm very good at detecting lies. I have a specialty.
Insight check.
What do I have to have a specialty? An expertise die?
D4, yeah.
D4, lovely. There's no harm in finding out if he's lying.
Okay.
There's no harm.
I'm shocked to my core. Shooketh.
18.
He's a big fat lying liar.
Talk to the chosen one. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo, woo, woo. Pirate.
I'm so
right.
shocked.
Just
I'm not
imagine
cough.
Yanis doing this out of nowhere, like to himself over his.
The
I'm
magic
so
is
shocked. I inhaled my tea.
that's his someone's lying dance.
I,
I've seen
as
many, many times.
Constance, I'm still, and apparently as Jess, fully believing him. And I was like, well, of course, we will not leave you if you wish to travel with us. But I fear where we're going may not be very safe. But if perhaps along the way we can find somewhere for you to find rest or with other people.
I will travel with you. You will keep
Good.
me safe.
Where
Of
did
course.
you come from? Where did you come from, traveller?
From the villages.
Which village?
To the north.
Constance just
My
looks
village is
smiling.
to the north. You wouldn't know it.
We've
Matthew's
travelled
just
all over. Go on,
Giving
sorry, go on,
Yanis like a look like, what is this questioning?
We've travelled far over the plains of Abyssinia.
Katashan it's called. Katashan.
Katashan, is that? Quick, pull up the map. Pull up the map of Krynn.
said
I
you
want
wouldn't
pictures
know
of
it.
Spider-Man. Is that a real village, or is he just?
Well, you've never heard of it.
Can I roll a culture check? I've got a
Sure.
Ah.
ticking culture.
Go.
There we go.
Intelligence culture, that would be.
Ooh,
I'm just fully
okay.
believing him and smiling at him this whole time.
That's-
like,
that's
oh, we're getting to
another-
know him.
That's another 18.
You're pretty sure there's no such town.
I've never heard of such a place, traveller. I understand that these are difficult times and you might want to hide your true point of origin from us, but you have nothing to fear of us. We serve the forces of good, and any that would seek to deter or deceive us, we will push from the path of righteousness.
The man's eyes narrow slightly and he looks down at you and he says, "Curse you, Kendra!" And before
Matthew,
your
what's-
very eyes,
Oh
he
no!
morphs into the shape.
Why am I on screen?
That's what I meant
Oh,
to
it turns into Constance. No!
of a draconian. This draconian has a silvery tint to it and is wielding two vicious curved blades, and he throws himself straight at Yanis.
Boss battle music.
Okay, yes.
Let us have initiative.
Hang on.
9.
This initiative will be, though, wisdom perception. It's whether you spotted this coming or not.
I did not. So could I just do a 1?
11
Absolutely.
then.
13.
13 for Yanis. I got 14, which feels from a roleplay perspective incorrect because I had no idea. What does the Draconian have?
19.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay, so they are definitely going first. I think I might have done the music a bit loud, so I will turn that down for everybody if they're currently thinking, wow, this music is loud.
That's normally when I would turn down the music.
So the
so I
draconian
Yeah.
see
throws
logic.
himself at Yanis
Is that bad a
and
chat?
swings a serrated sword, rolling a 15. Does that hit?
I believe that will hit me. Hang on, let me just check. Yes, it will.
It does
Ow.
13 points of slashing damage.
Oof. I will take that damage, and I will, in response, I believe it's a bonus action. Yeah. Oh no, it's a reaction. I will cast Force of Will and half that damage, as I did with the cliff before.
Okay. He swings with another sword.
Oh,
The one in
bugger.
his other hand. This one he rolls a 9, which I'm going to guess is a miss.
That
And
is
then
absolutely not it.
his tail, his spiky tail,
Bloody hell!
he swings round and whacks at Magia with. And rolls a 16.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
Is that including the Staff of Magi's bonus?
Oh, yes.
Still hits.
Yeah, that brings her
Okay.
up to 11. She hasn't
Okay.
been able to cast Mage Armor yet.
The tail smacks into you and does 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And I'd like a strength saving throw from you, please.
Strength saving
You
throw. Is this to be
got
knocked
this.
prone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get advantage
It is exactly
on those.
that.
I get advantage on those thanks to my sea legs. So that is 80, dirty 20.
You are not knocked prone. Next.
Since that was a melee attack, can I use my reaction to do, I think it's Arcane Repose?
You can. That's exactly what that does. Yep.
Nice.
She does not like getting hit. She just shouts like, hey, that's my brother. So this is a melee spell attack. Which is a 16.
16 is a miss.
What?
He deflects it.
Oh!
With his wings, his leathery wings feel like iron as he deflects it with a wing.
Blimey.
Oh, a 16 isn't that's scary.
We're going to die.
Okay, sorry, that was a reaction. So.
Okay, that was his go. Who's next then on the initiative
It's
track?
me.
What you doing, Constance?
How close is he to me?
You were right next to him.
Oh,
You were talking to him, weren't you?
I was. So what I will do is I'm just going to hit him with my axe because I'm so annoyed because I gave him a sandwich and like how could you take a sandwich off someone and then I
Betray
got
them.
21, which will hit. I
You
assume.
hope.
What did you roll? Sorry.
21.
That does indeed hit. Yes.
Good, because if it doesn't, I was just gonna cry. So 1d8 plus piss. So that is 7 damage I'm doing with my battle axe of piercing.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, and then because I'm this, I have a inspiring leader. So I made a successful melee attack roll. So 2 creatures gain expertise dice on their first attack at the start for the round, and I will pick Yanis and Magia, funnily enough, not the enemy, so they get an expertise dice on their attack. And then also as my bonus action, I'm going to use Rallying Surge to heal Yanis for 9 points of healing for Yanis.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
You're
that brings me
welcome.
all the way back up to full hit points.
Okay.
Excellent, good.
Who's
And then
next?
I'm done.
Who's next on the initiative track? It's disappeared.
Oh, the initiative track
Yes,
is
in Spanish. There it is.
there.
Okay.
Well, I think
Magia.
it covers
There
up
we go.
his face otherwise, so I don't want it up all the time.
I was going to cast Mage Armor, but I don't want to waste the expertise die that Constance has given me. Let's see.
How long does the expertise die last for?
It's until my next turn, so it's
Okay. So just one turn.
the round. Yeah, turn.
Yeah.
I think we're all a little bit too
Well, the round.
close
Yeah.
for me to. Oh, I could probably do this. Are we all still standing kind of in front of it? None of us are split up around it, right?
Not yet. No.
I have one question. My staff that allows me to cast Levitate, are all of those spells like Featherfall? They only affect me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, you're going to lift him up and drop him.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Brilliant.
Classic. A classic.
Is
Love
he...
it.
Constance, you've done damage to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a visible kind of wound anywhere?
It does. You see green draconic blood.
Fantastic. Magia is going to do something really stupid.
Oh, Lord.
Because Constance has kind of opened that chance. She's going to pull the flask of poison out from inside her robes and just charge at this creature. And her goal is to basically get that flask into that open wound and get the poison into the wound.
Okay, what is your maneuver DC? We'll go with that.
Very
My
pirate thing to do that.
maneuver DC is 12. It's
Okay.
not super high.
He has rolled 9.
That's my sister, the pirate.
You
I imagine she
douse
kind of-
his wound with
I think
the poison.
She goes for a feint as if she's going to go in and like attack with her horns. And as he moves up to like, defend himself, she just jams the neck of the flask
Yeah.
into that open wound.
So you do
Vinegars
3d6 poison damage to him.
Ooh. So it's going to be 10,
Lord.
16.
I'm going to treat this as if he's drunk it, basically.
Yeah, 16
Straight into the
points.
bloodstream.
He now needs to make a Constitution save, which has
Failed.
failed. So he'll take
Hey.
3d6 poison damage on his next turn, and then he'll be able to make another save.
Brilliant.
That was pretty cool. Okay.
That
Is there
was
anything
very
else that
cool.
Magia is doing?
I don't think so. I don't think there is anything else that she can do right now.
Okay.
What more do you want from a turn?
Okay, so I will cast. That's the noise for Shield of Faith. So I cast Shield of Faith, and then I'll. I'm backing up. Well, if I back up, will it provoke? Yeah, it will provoke.
Yes. Unless you use the dash option. No, not with that. Disengage action.
Then I can't do what I want to do.
Do you have expertise on your attack if you would like to attack?
And I was going to do an attack that would give other people the next attack expertise on its attack. Although, can I get expertise on a ranged spell attack? Yes, I can. Yes, we did this before. We did this outrageous combo before.
Correct.
So, yes, I will cast Guiding Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Come on.
So have you backed away?
No, because I don't want to risk it. Yes, I will actually. Can I parry while it's my turn? Can I parry against attacks of opportunity? Okay, I will back up.
Okay. Right, let's give him his attack of opportunity first.
Yes.
He rolls. Ooh, ow. Yeah, that'd be 23.
So that will be a hit, Russ.
Yeah. I don't think you can even parry that one, can you?
No.
No. So it's 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I will
And
make
then
a
your
concentration check. Okay.
Well, you haven't cast the spell yet, have you? So you don't need to.
No, I did. I know I did Shield of Faith first as a
Oh, I
bonus
see.
action.
Okay.
But it's fine. I passed my check. So then I'll 13 points of damage. Okay. So I'll back up after taking that grievous wound, and I'll fire a guiding bolt at him.
Okay.
And attempt to strike him with it.
Fire away.
Oh, that is absolute cackers. That's really
Absolute.
that's really atrocious. That. No, that's not going to hit.
Okay.
It goes wide. Boom!
That is a shame.
Even with your extra D4?
Yeah, even with my extra D4, I rolled absolute rubbish. I've decided to get all the bad rolls out this week, so then next week all my rolls will be really good. That's what.
Yes,
I'm
that's
saying.
how it works.
Love that strategy. That's good.
Okay. Is that Yanis done?
That
This
is all I
The
can do.
Draconian's turn again now.
Okay. So the Draconian takes 3d6 damage. I'll let you roll that, Magia, since you did it.
That'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points.
12 points of poison damage. Ooh. Makes his saving throw and rolls a 2. Ooh, this isn't going well this is not going well at all. And then, because Yanis has pulled back, he's decided that Magia is going to be the target of his ire, given what you just did to him. We have a sword attack which does 22 to hit.
That'll hit. I wish it didn't, but it does.
And a 19 to hit.
They will both hit.
It's 2 lots of 13 slashing damage, 26 in
Okay,
total.
I'm going to use my last use of my feature to reduce one of those to 6.
Okay.
So 6 plus 13 is 19.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie is unconscious.
Again.
Oh, this is
I had
always...
18 hit
Again.
points.
And then
I
a
did-
tail attack at Constance.
I parry that?
rolls a 12, which I think is going to miss.
Oh yeah, 16 AC.
Okay,
Which is
that's
correctly
the
calculated,
Draconian
isn't
done. Who's next?
They're not done because I am going to do stuff and or things.
Wow.
So, first of all, I can't do both those things in this turn. That's rubbish. Okay. No. Not important. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use my bonus action to do Mark Foe. So I get an expertise dice on attacks made against that creature, anyone that can see and hear, so that includes myself. Then I will attack them again with my battle axe, and I get the expertise dice. For that, I rolled pants. I missed. I rolled.
Right,
I rolled a 10, which I don't think is going to cut it.
No.
And then I think I'm done. I'm just going to kind of scream in his face in a menacing fashion to try and get his attention away from the other two. But that's it. Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Yanis.
Okay, same again. We're going to try for a guiding bolt.
You do get an expertise dice on that.
Much better. We will take a 22.
22 is going to hit.
So he can have. Did he take? Yeah, he did. That's fine. Right. He's going to take 46 radiant damage.
Ow!
That'll do. That's 18 points of damage.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah, and the next attack against him is has advantage. And then with my bonus action, I'll reach out towards Magia and my eyes will go blue and I'll say something that sounds like a word, but probably not meant for mortal ears to hear. And I will cast Healing Word and restore a cool and tasty 6 points of health.
Damage.
I'll take it.
Good.
Okay. Is that Yanis done?
I'm going to move over to stand over my sister until she gets
Okay.
up.
Magia, you're lying on the floor.
Magia is lying on the floor, and I think kind of coming back to her senses. Probably again isn't even really aware that she's been unconscious.
It keeps
for all that
happening so
long.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's suddenly aware that her body aches, and I think at this point she will take the time to cast Mage Armor on herself.
Okay.
Does that
Good.
stack with the staff? That is the question.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay, I'll work that out in a second because that requires math. And then, because I have cast a spell at first level, I will use my Flutter ability when I find it. I can teleport a short distance. It's equal to 5 + 5 feet per level of the spell. So she will teleport 10 feet back. So she's just out of immediate attack range of this awful looking draconian for a minute.
Okay. Is that you done?
That is me done.
And then it is the draconian who takes another 3d6 damage. Roll that damage.
Oh, I'm rolling so well on this.
That rubbing poison in the wound was
And
just
Very
good.
good. Yeah.
Very
it was
good.
Well done.
12
Come on
points
then.
of damage.
12.
Mm-hmm. Does it kill him?
The draconian raises his sword, ready to attack again, but the poison overtakes him, and he just raises it up and then just falls over backwards onto the ground.
And then I kick him.
Magia will make her way over, and hopefully while he's still a little bit conscious, just do the same as Constance with a hoof. Just
As you kick him, he
pokes him.
crumbles into dust, and then suddenly, before you, lying on the ground, you see the most horrible sight ever. You see the spectral, shrieking image of Magia lying on the ground, screaming and shrieking. Could you all please make a wisdom saving throw?
What is happening? Wait, I think I have a thing on wisdom saving throws.
17.
I lied, I don't. 13?
Thematically, I have failed this with a 9.
Okay, but you're actually immune to this because
Oh.
those who failed become frightened of the spectral image. That's only Constance that failed because Yanis is immune to fear. So this horrific image of Magia, spectral image of Magia lying on the ground, shrieking away, is so fearsome that Constance, you are frightened by it. You can't approach it, and you have disadvantage while you can see it.
I step back, kind of aghast. Is the horse okay?
Have it make a saving throw. We'll find out.
What's its wisdom saving throws? How many
Who
bonus?
knows? Let's just say 0. So
You got a natural 20!
Come on, Anna! Yes, Anna!
the horse is fine. The horse is fine.
This is a war horse, see? This horse is ready.
Yeah,
What a time to get a natural 20.
the horse is fine. Okay.
Just
So
me, I
it's
step
only
back.
Constance. So you can hide behind the horse.
Back and like,
I'm gonna-
I don't know, like grabs at Yanis' shoulder or something and like kind of fear.
I'm going to
Down
tug.
Magia-
I'm going to tug Magia. Use the staff. Use the staff. Make it go away.
I think Magia will cross so she can stand in front of Constance and kind of block some of that view. Put her hands on Constance's shoulders and be like, Constance, look at me. I'm fine. I'm right here. It's not real. Okay, it's not real. Magia will just take the staff for a moment and see if it will just dissipate if she kind of waves it around. But
As you wave the staff around, the image does in fact dissipate, and the wails just drift off on the wind until there's
She'll turn
nothing
back.
left there but a small pile of dust where the draconian once was.
But Magia will turn back to Constance and like put her hands on her shoulders again to ground her. I'm right here. That wasn't real.
Okay.
It was just a trick.
Okay.
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 She like takes her hand and squeezes it so Constance can feel that she's here. You're fine.
Okay.
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 She just keeps giving Constance that eye contact until it looks like Constance has calmed down a little
She's
bit.
like slowly coming back to herself, but yeah.
You're okay. It's gone. Okay, I promise it's gone.
All right. Wish Royce were here. Should have known he was tricking us straight away.
So, okay, the regular ones just crumble to dust. The spellcasters explode, and whatever that thing was, I guess they're supposed to frighten whatever dispatches them, strike fear
horrify
into
you.
them. It's almost like these things are made or designed or evolved to just cause collateral even after they die.
To be weapons.
I mean, which makes resisting so much harder for anyone that might have come and answered our call. Could you imagine seeing that on the battlefield?
Yeah, well, vividly now, yes.
It's just another thing we have to push past. We know what they can do,
Yes.
and we'll be ready for it next time.
Of course. Of course. We should.
Is there anything in the pile of ash that might be helpful? Did those big swords fall apart? I can't use them, but
Sure, yeah, the swords are there. They're scimitars, basically, but they're big, nasty-looking ones.
Sorry, I gave him some of our rations. I didn't know.
None of us did. It's okay.
I just thought he was
clearly,
someone needing help. So
clearly you've never been boarded by pirates, Constance. It's rule number 1, really. Oh,
no, I haven't.
our ship was set upon, and they came aboard and took all of our food and our women, please. And
That
then,
sounds
ha! Sword
Oh.
in the gut.
I mean, to be fair, for the most part, we don't often actually have to hurt anybody. Usually by the time that we've all boarded, they just give up. So,
Normally around the time Maj turns up for some reason.
yeah, I mean, apparently there is something about a 7-foot-tall minotaur that will make people hand over their goods very quickly.
Maybe you're just lucky like that.
Maybe.
Well, let's finish the task in hand, and I go back to digging out a little grave for the goblin, poor little goblin man.
Oh, as you do so, the rain starts. It's not hard yet. It's just starting to come down. But Magia, you know that this is the storm. It's arriving. In a couple of hours, you're going to be drenched.
Can I make a perception check just to see if I can sense if there's anything about the weather that seems to be magically altered? It's part of my sense weather ability. Just because we've had dragons flying around, and it seems almost too convenient, because a storm in the middle of a siege would be really bad.
Sure.
Is this with wisdom for perception?
Yeah.
So that'll be 17.
You think it is natural. It's out of season, but it is. You think it's natural.
There's a couple of minutes of magic kind of sniffing at the air, and she's like, okay, good. Good, this is natural rain. It's a natural storm. But we should keep moving. We need to find somewhere to take some cover, because if we're out in the rain, we're going to get wet and cold, and it's not going to be good for your armor, Constance, or the horse.
And you're still a couple of days away.
Is there any shelter we can see in the plains? It's
Not
just
at the
plains.
moment, no.
Is-
Although far ahead, now you're looking, and it is sort of getting later in the day. Maybe you see a little glimmer of firelight.
We have to go to it. If it's draconians, we'll have to take them out and take the camp. But if we end up soaked and this rain doesn't clear up today, we're at risk of getting cold and catching ill.
Very well.
But it could be more survivors if people really have been fleeing.
Yes,
They might have food and supplies.
of course. Yes, we'll go. Yanis, do you want to say some words for this fellow that I don't know his name?
Just finished covering up, and I say, there's a right for people that you do not know the names of. I'll say it.
Even
Like
goblins.
stand
Yeah.
procession over the foot of the impromptu grave, and from the waters of the womb to the cavern of the earth, once more unto her arms, now and forever, to weep no more, to laugh no more, endless skies of blue. And then I make the sign of the.
That was lovely. I'm going to give you an inspiration die for that.
Thanks very much.
It's actually the first inspiration die I've actually handed out this game.
Sometimes I'm not just here to crack silly jokes and talk about people who invented pots. Sometimes I roleplay.
So we're moving on, are we?
Yes, we'll head towards the camplight after saying goodbye to our friend.
So it's getting darker. And as you approach this camp night, you realise that, and the rain is starting to come down now. It's getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and you can hear the crack of thunder, and you see distant light. And as you get closer, you can see like 2 or 3 firelights, then 3 or 4 more, and you can sort of make out the silhouettes of tents. Looks like tents there. There is definitely some kind of camp up ahead. You can see through the driving rain.
We'll approach kind of cautiously, like checking to see if it's kind of friend or foe.
Okay, so as you approach, you can see no one moving about. If there's anyone there, they're inside the tents, huddled from the rain. It looks much like the picture I display here, like tents with like small campfires and rain pouring down.
Listen out for sibilant draconic voices in the tents.
Make a perception check.
Oh, not good at those. Although, I think we'll take a tasty 22.
Oh,
You hear
delicious!
the wail of a baby.
Oh.
Definitely not draconic sounding.
What does that sound like, Russ?
Sounds like the wail of a baby.
Looks like a bird that swallowed a plate, my lord. There's a child. I can hear a child.
The Draconian army wouldn't have that.
Unless it was a prisoner.
What do one of you two maybe want to go in? If these are people that have come from the villages that they've been burning, I think me walking in soaking wet will probably be more of a horrifying sight.
I will.
You.
Myself and Honor will ride ahead.
Poke Aja in the thigh, and you're still hurt.
I'm fine. She's not fine. She is bleeding.
On
still
death's
in rain.
door. Yeah.
What colour is your horse, Constance? I'll let you choose.
I think it's I want it to be ginger. Like I don't know what that's called. In like I think there's a word for it in
There is a word actually.
horse. In the same way,
Is that
white
like
horse.
bay or something?
Yeah, it's some. Yeah,
There we go.
it's ginger effectively.
Okay. So
Chestnut or
Chestnut?
Blood Bay? Chestnut or Blood Bay?
I don't. Yeah,
Or
one
pearl.
of those.
Pearl for like really coppery orange coloured.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a pearl horse.
okay, so as you ride forward in your armour, your Slamdic armour on your ginger horse
Mm-hmm.
towards the camp, you see a movement ahead of you and a huddled figure sort of swathed in waterproof sort of cloak and hood, staving off the rain, holds up a torch underneath the cloak to try and like make out who you are, and you can dimly see a face under that. And it looks humanish from where you are, and you hear a voice calling out saying, Who goes there?"
My name is Constance, and this is my steed Honor. And we come in. Why are you laughing? Those are our names.
Because I was hoping that you were going to say and Honor. I was really hoping you weren't going to forget to introduce Honor as well.
Yeah, obviously it'd be rude. Anyway,
Yeah.
we back in the scene. We come here looking for refuge from the rain. I understand.
You come to refugees looking for a refuge? There is no refuge here, my friend. Flee while you still can. The dragon armies march from the north.
Yes, I understand that. But if there was a corner of a tent, just the entrance, maybe we could stand in whilst this poor weather
Have you
continues.
food?
Huh?
Have you food? We have young and we have no food. If you can give us food, we will give you shelter.
Yes, of course. Of course, yes.
Is it you? Are you alone?
No, I have my 2 companions with me, but they come on foot, so are a little slower than us.
Bring them forward, let me see.
I will turn back to look and gesture.
And the silhouettes, like a monitor on a kendo.
Yeah. They are very different heights.
This monitor with like big horns and this kendo with a hoop just like, come out.
Well,
Come
Yanis is
into
probably on Magia's shoulders, right? And I imagine Magia's got like the hood for her robes pulled up over Yanis.
Yeah. I'm
Just
taking out.
the 3 of you.
Well, our other friend was scouting ahead. She may...
The one with the horns, we saw her.
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yes, she is here.
We
Oh.
ate her.
If what? If we could join her, then that would be most appreciated. And of course, we'd be happy to share. We don't have much, but you know what we
hear
have.
the
we have
baby
to share.
crying again from the tent, and the figure looks over their head and goes, "The children, they are starving.
Of course, I mean, what we
The
have, we have to
dragons
share.
and the draconians, they destroyed everything we have."
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Perhaps you wear the crest of Solamnia.
I do.
Do you bring news from Solamnia? Are they coming to save us? Are the armies marching?
I have sent word.
Are the knights riding to our aid?
I have sent word. And I hope that's the case. I'm heading to look into that, but aid is on the way as well. The old gods are returning.
What?
The old gods are returning.
Look, I just want a sandwich.
I also have sandwiches, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well,
We haven't come south much as Constance may suggest that we have. We've come from the east.
The east? The mountains?
My brother carries with him the truth of the gods. We've already killed 1 dragon and dozens more of their army.
Look, we don't need any witnesses right now. We're just a sandwich. We'll be fine.
I think they just want a sandwich, to be honest. So I'll take out.
Respect-
I'll
I can
give him
respect that.
2. I'll give him 2 of our supply immediately, straight
Okay.
away.
Yeah, takes it and says, "Oh, I wish I could eat this, but the children must have it first." He
How
disappears
many?
into a
How
tent.
many children are there?
As he goes, looks back over his head. 3 dozen?
Oh, I don't have enough for that.
Spare what you can. Come on in.
Okay. How many days walk are we from Solace?
A couple of days. Go and eat.
I'll go to give him another 2 then.
Okay. What does that leave you with?
8.
8. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Just about. So you enter the tent and it's kind of dark and murky in there, and sleeping in a corner on a mattress, conveniently not talking at all, is Royce, wrapped up in a blanket, clearly exhausted after a hard couple of days scouting on her own. And I'm sure you decide not to wake her for now
Mm-hmm.
and let her sleep.
Means to sleep.
And the old man, this is an old man, pulls back his hood, and there's an old woman in there too, and a baby. just on a straw cot, mattress thing. Begs you to sit as we come from the north, fleeing ahead of the dragon armies. They have sacked everything up north, and they will do so as they continue to march south.
We're going to stop them.
How? How can you stop them? There are but 3 of you, or 4 if you count the sleeping one.
That's all we need. We bring the will of the gods with us.
I fear you need more than the will of the gods. You need an army.
Well,
Yeah, I
we're
do keep
looking
thinking
into
about that one, actually.
We sent word to those in my order to, rally the cause, and we're looking to go to the city to meet with others and arrange that. So,
But the dragon armies they have taken Solace, Haven, and Gateway. There was no one to defend us there. They didn't even put up a resistance.
Would you? Against
But clearly not.
those
We're
creatures?
fleeing for our lives.
Exactly. Don't talk stupid. Sorry, ma'am. Apologise to his wife.
The woman throws a turnip at you.
Oh, thank you. And put that away in my knapsack. We'll give this as an offering to the Blue Lady.
look, I know there's no words we can give you now.
You know they have dragons.
Yes, we
You cannot
We
fight
killed-
dragons.
we've killed one.
Of course you haven't.
I would not
we
lie
have.
to you. I'm a
Nobody
knight
can
of
kill a dragon.
I'm a knight of Solamnia. My word is my honor, and my horse is also called Honor.
Killed
So
a dragon?
Yes. Yes.
But how? They're impervious to spell and sword. They are
I
mighty
told you.
creatures, able to incinerate an army with a single breath.
Look, what part of the will of the gods do you not understand? It's a fairly all-encompassing term. Look,
The
I
whole
had
part
it-
where the
right.
gods are fictional, that part.
Right. Well, they're back. They're back. The Blue Lady Mishakel sent me and all of us on a quest.
I've not
to go-
even heard of that one.
Yanis,
Look, I
Yanis.
jangle the platinum things. This. Just if you sat down and read a bloody book for once, you.
He shrugs.
Yanis.
Wow.
Magia points at her wounds. Show them.
Just watch.
Magia will kind of disrobe across her shoulder where that attack would have kind of hit the brunt of her, where the wounds are worst.
I'm gonna make that kind of part of the spell, and then
The inside of the tent glows blue and the wounds heal up. And the two people's eyes widen. Then it is true.
nine hit points. Yes.
Do carry the gods within you.
Yes.
Then they are returning to fight Tarkisis. The gods
Yes.
are returning to fight the dragon armies.
Yes.
Where are they?
If we knew that, we would be with them.
With them
Well-
standing by our side, perhaps we have a chance.
How do
I
you
think-
think we killed the last dragon?
Well, I did ask.
Well,
There's a little-
my brother here would be able to give you the story on that. I was up top blowing up buildings.
Blowing up buildings?
Yeah.
Yes, well, we wanted to cover over the top of its lair. It's a particularly nasty black dragon with acid for breath.
Black? No, they're red. Dragons are red. They breathe fire.
No.
See
They
them.
come in. They come in plethora of colors. You've
I
seen.
assure you
you've
they're
seen-
red.
You've seen the red dragon. Where did you see it? Did it raise your town?
Oh, there's more than one. There are many.
Oh,
Oh, can you not just?
How many?
I saw them soaring overhead.
You better hope
Dozens.
that Mishakal has got a bulk storage of those amulets somewhere, brother.
look. Thank you for this information and telling us. And I'm glad that what you've seen today, you understand to be true. That the gods are returning to help you. And I understand when people think of wars, they think of soldiers on the front line fighting, and of course they have their part. but the people of a country have their part too. Because when people come in and invade and try and take things from us, they also try and take your hope and your belief.
And they have succeeded.
If you let them. But what you have seen today, you've seen the gods returning. You've seen them coming back.
This is sadly information for more important and wiser people than we.
Well, of course, we'll share that with them. But you can do your part as well by telling other people what you have seen here today. Keep up
I
their
will.
spirits. Keep up their hope.
I did my part. I will spread the word for those that would believe me.
Good. Because they may fight and they may take our homes, but they cannot take your hope and your belief unless you let them.
I understand. Now, you must sleep if you are to travel in the morning. Hopefully the storm will pass.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your hospitality.
So, you can all have a long rest. You have to knock off another supply each, which will take you down to 5 supply, I believe.
Yep.
In the morning, you have your long rest. The old woman says, "Can you spare any more supply? This is not the only tent. You can see there are dozens of
Well, that depends. With my discovery feature, I might discover some food.
them.
With my
Try.
long rest features.
Roll
Also-
those dice.
Also, I would like to. Can I receive another premonition?
Okay, roll the dice first.
All right. It's a 5, not a 6.
Okay, so you don't get a discovery or a boon.
Rubbish.
You want a premonition? Yeah, I can give you a
Yeah, why
premonition
not?
every bloody rest every night. Am
Yes.
You just told me no. Just have D20 instead.
I literally need to write a list of premonitions down at some point.
She shows you where, some
So
food
you
is
get
buried.
a premonition
So there's
of
some-
what looks like a large dwarfish mine with a castle around it.
Okay, that was different.
Yeah.
Big castle, dwarvish, ran a
Looks from
mine.
one of the towers of the castle, and it's more a sort of squat fortress than a castle. It's very square, with 2 squarish towers. Perched on one of those towers, you see a red dragon.
No, can't they just give it a rest? Can't they have a day off?
It is called Dragonlance, to be fair.
Well, and yet I've not seen Dragonlance yet, Russ.
That is kind of the theme.
Where are the lances?
Can I?
I've
There
had
is
plenty.
one, there is
Go on,
something that Magia would like to talk to Constance about doing. Has the rain stopped by the morning?
It's slowed down to just normal rainfall, so it's still raining, but it's not a thunderstorm anymore.
So when it's rainy and soil gets soft, often things like worms and bugs come up to the surface to avoid drowning in the overly wet soil, which hopefully should attract some birds. Magia, if that is the case, Magia might suggest to Constance to see if she can shoot some birds down that might serve as food
Okay.
for some of the people here, since as soon as this rain stops and the sun comes out to dry the plains again, that opportunity will be gone.
Okay. So this is the hunting journey activity. So during a journey, you can undertake a number of activities. You don't have to, but you can undertake a number of activities. One of those is hunt and gather. So I'm going to call that up now.
Now
Very
she doesn't
quickly.
have a bow, or she do it herself.
Yeah.
I've
So
got
journey
a
activities.
hoop
I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do. You can befriend animals and bust. You can chronicle. You can cook. You can cover tracks, entertain, gather components, gossip, harvest, hunt and gather, prey, rob, and scout and track. So
Gosh.
it's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. So you're trying the hunt and gather activity.
Yes.
So this requires a survival check.
I'm proficient in that. Survival with what is it? Wisdom or?
For this,
Dexterity.
yes, it will be wisdom. Yeah.
I only got 12. It wasn't too
12.
amazing.
I got 13. I thought I'd try as well. I got 13.
Okay. Neither of you managed to find any supply. I'm afraid. Sorry.
Bugger.
It's okay. In response to the woman asking me for supply, I'm going to give her 2 more so that we have 3. So I'm going to give her my ration of it.
Was
because-
Magia doing anything?
I don't know if Maggie would be able to kind of in the grassland. She might try foraging and seeing if there's any kind of less berries and things like that, but more grasses and plant that's edible that can be, you know, boiled in water to make soups.
Yeah, cool.
That kind of
Like nettles.
yeah.
Okay, are you talking medicinals here or food?
Food.
Okay, so that'll be a survival check also.
Survival.
Can I entertain the children?
You can only do one thing.
Since we
You attempted to hunt and gather.
You probably did entertain the children by how
But you probably
badly we
did
were
entertain
hunting.
them anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
since we had a rest, would nature as an expertise help here?
No, you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's an expertise. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it would. What am I talking about? Of course it would. Yes.
So sorry, this is survival with wisdom.
Yeah.
So 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ooh, unfortunately, none of you managed to find anything. The rain was just
Weird.
it was just too much rain.
Worst
No birds
heroes
came
ever.
near. Yeah, maybe the birds were scared off by the dragons. That's probably
Makes
what
sense.
happened.
But we tried, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so during a journey, you can undertake all these various activities, and they'll give you basic journey-based benefits. Hunting and gather will give you supply. Harvest will give you medicinals, and various bits and pieces. Entertain will give you morale. Things like that. Anyway, it is the next morning. Are you heading off with your 3 supply towards Solace? 2 days travel.
Yes.
Okay, so you're aware that you do not have enough supply.
Yes.
So you're going to arrive fatigued.
Well, I have a feat where I won't get my first point of fatigue.
Okay. So
Not
with
eating.
3 supply, we'll assume again that Royce is scouting and supplying herself. So 3 supply for 3 people, which means each of you will go without supply for 1 day. Constance, you can ignore that 1 day apparently. Yeah.
Let me just check how it actually works. The first time between each long rest, you would gain a level of fatigue. You do not gain that level of
Okay.
fatigue.
But the other 2 cannot. So you 2 will each gain a level of fatigue for taking a long rest without consuming supply. So when you arrive in Solace, 2 of you will be fatigued.
Oh
So-
dear.
If there's another long rest between now and then, I could find some food. I could discover some food with my
You only get to do it
Stuff.
once per region, unfortunately, not once per day.
bother.
So, you do arrive in Solace finally, though, or in the roads outside Solace. 2 days later, Constance, you're fine. The other 2 of you are hungry and tired. You've got 1 level of fatigue, which basically means that you can't sprint or dash.
Okay.
And you're standing outside Solace when you hear the clippity-cloppity of hooves. Do you remember the last time you arrived in Solace? Do you remember what happened?
Oh.
You heard the clippity-cloppity of hooves. And a pleasant hobgoblin overlord called Viewmaster Toad turned up on a pony, accompanied by a number of goblins. Same thing's happened again.
What are the
Exactly the
chances?
same thing.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? As you're nearing the end of the second day, you're on the outskirts of Solace. You can see smoke coming from the trees ahead of you. You can smell burning wood. You know that Solace clearly has been badly damaged. Something's happened there. And clippity-cloppity, up to you comes Viewmaster Tweed with a small band of armoured goblins. And he calls out, "You! Out for inspection!" And we will call it the end of the session there.
No.
What a little scamp.
What a
Deal
little
with you next
stab.
week.
Yeah.
The upside is we're all a lot more powerful than we were the first time around.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
4
That is
times
true.
more powerful, one might say.
Yeah.
That's a Salamian turn of phrase, that. Much like being,
Yeah.
what was it, 7 over
16 over
22?
29.
16
Yeah.
over 29, yeah. I'm 16 over 29, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the end of the session today. That's the end of the penultimate episode. So tomorrow, next week, in fact, will be the final episode.
Ooh.
Final episode of Against the Dragonlords. It's so sad. We are considering continuing on for a second season later in the year, but we haven't got any specific plans down yet. But if you would like that, please let us know, because we'd like to know that you want to see more of this. We will be here next week for the final episode, though, where whatever happens in Solace happens in Solace. We'll find out what happens in Solace. Before we go, would you each like to give a shout out, tell people where they can find you, and plug anything you may or may not wish to plug? You want to start, Jess?
Yes, I will. So I'm Jessica. You can follow because I do EN publishing stuff and or things. So you can find me all at EN Publishing RPG on social media. At the moment, the thing I'd like to plug is we're doing a Kickstarter next week. The 5E guns and firearms for your 5E games. A lot of these will be compatible with Level Up as well because it's backward compatible with 5th edition, but it's designed for 5th edition. But anyway, so it's Keep Your Powder Dry. If you look that up on Kickstarter, if you click follow, you'll be notified when it launches. And also, if you click follow it, other people are likely to see it. So if you're not quite sure, please still click follow because it does help us as well. And this is what I look like, apparently.
That's not what I meant to do.
Oh wow, it's all me, and that's everything. Would you like to stop spotlighting me?
Who would like to go next?
V?
Yeah, V.
Hi, I'm V. You can find me all over the internet at Tabletop Horde. I do too many things in TTRPGs, but usually graphic design and writing and things like that. I'm currently working on some layout for an adventure for Soul Market Publishing for Orbital Blues, so keep your eyes out for that. I'm sure I'll scream about it on Twitter once it's actually out and finished. And I'm also a professional game master, so if you want to check out what games I have running, I have one in Ravenloft at the moment with the seat open. You can have a look at all of that over on my Twitter. But otherwise, that's me.
Okay, and Jack.
Hello, everyone. Famously, very little to plug. You can find me online at Twitter at Jack_Mullings, as it shows you on your screen right there, which will let you know what kind of shenanigans I'm up to. I did have something to plug last week, and I'm going to plug it today as well, because it's tomorrow. If anyone out there in internet land is living in the West Midlands, in the United Kingdom of the planet Earth, I will be taking part in a...
My dad does.
Brilliant. Send your dad along tomorrow, please. That'd be great. I'll be performing in 2 short plays tomorrow, as I am an actor, that's what I do, at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre as part of a new festival of writing put on by Sky. Yes, those people that make big telly stuff. So if anyone is in the area, it's £5. So that's £5 in American money, but you won't be coming to see it if you're American anyway. So yes, that's all I've got to plug. But thank you very much for watching. We love having you here.
Thank you all. I am Russ, aka Morris, or Morris, aka Russ. You can find me at enworld.org. And until next week, thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next time for the final, the grand finale. Exciting stuff. Bye-bye.